recording and get them up in here. Andy, hello. Thank you for being here. I hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Let me undeafen and get them all in here. All right. So, you guys remember where you were? Would you like me to read the description to you again?
Yeah, we left Barovia for greener pastures.
Mm-hmm.
So, Sten was, as you guys laid down for your long rest at the crossroads just east of the Wizard of Wines Winery, Sten pulled out a black box inlaid with golden filigree that appeared to have no obvious lid or other features, but upon closer inspection was comprised of expertly crafted, tight-fitting panels. The panels looked like they could move, and there were small holes on the sides, almost like keyholes. Sten waited until everyone was asleep, managed to roll in at 20 to figure out that it was a puzzle box and move the panels accordingly. And as the last panel clicked into place, the box began to open up like a flower. But Sten didn't have time to glory in his accomplishment because a black cloud of inky smoke exploded out from the box out to the radius of Tiny Hut. And coughing and choking on the gritty, slimy particles in the cloud, everyone began to choke and wake up from their sleep. The box fell out of Sten's hand, and out fell pieces of jewelry, a wand, and a tiny toad. As Sten went to clear his throat, the toad rivets and transforms, its limbs breaking and stretching and its shoulders growing out from its body into a hulking demonic beast. The bipedal monstrosity looms over you, easily 10 feet tall, salivating a viscous slime. Its massive maw works the air as it stretches and twists. It looks mad. And with that, I'm going to turn on our music, and we're going to get things started.
You freed it. Why would it be mad at us? I'm just saying.
Isn't it supposed to give me a wish?
Exactly. Or maybe I think you're supposed to kiss it first, actually.
Oh.
I don't see it. Am I supposed to see it? Oh, now I
Now
see it.
you see it.
It's cute.
Bowser?
All right. This 10-foot thing is standing on top of you because you rolled the nat 20. I'm not going to let the surprise round affect you. Everyone else except for Mim and Andar, because they have alert, are going to have a surprise round here as they wake up. I need everybody to roll me initiative.
Wow.
Oh.
Was that reading what it was in the chat box? Was that oh?
I thought it was another kind of demon toad. The Hezro. I have heard of this.
All right. How is your initiative always so high, Sten?
I roll it at advantage.
Ah.
Believe me, I would have liked the other one. Actually, nope, the other one was a 16. Never mind. I want to go last.
All right. So, Andar, you are alert. You wake up to coughing smoke and look over, and you see a toad suddenly grow into a monstrosity and is standing, staring down Sten, its jaw working.
Is the tiny hut still filled with smoke?
Yes, there's smoke filling. It's pouring from the box right now.
All right, so I'm going to roll out of tiny hut, thus making it go away.
Got it. So the smoke extends. Let me. As you roll out a tiny hut, the smoke extends that far.
Jeez.
Can I see through it?
Yes. Honestly, it's just kind
Alright.
of a coughing, choking fog. It doesn't seem to be affecting you in any way other than it's harder to breathe a little bit. But it had spread out to the edges of Tiny Hut and was crawling up and filling the whole dome. So you rolling out allows it to kind of disperse. Think of it kind of like, fog machines, how it rolls along the ground. It's like that kind of wisping up around you, but it just feels heavy in your lungs a little bit.
I'm just gonna shoot it with a firebolt.
All right, do it.
Damn.
All right, that's a crit. All right, 9 fire damage.
Bother crit. Yeah.
You do notice that it shrugs off the firebolt. It doesn't even look up. It does seem to leave a mark on its skin. It's not that it wasn't damaged, but it doesn't seem to give care too greatly about it.
Noted.
Sten, you are not surprised because you rolled a nat 20. What's your move?
So we're coughing and stuff. Does it hurt?
No.
This.
Also, can you pop Doctor Who in here?
I can.
Okay, I'm gonna cast Bane. I need a charisma save, please.
Got it.
You need a 16.
14.
Okay. And then I'm gonna rapid hop away. I don't want to be next to him.
All right.
Oh, I don't want to go to the edge because it's not loaded. So we'll go 20 feet. How big was that cloud? I want to get to the edge of the cloud.
It is there.
Okay.
All right.
That's it.
Which brings us to Mim. You are also not surprised because you have alert.
Yeah. Do I guess? Okay, does a 27 hit?
27 does hit.
Okie dokie. Plus... okay, 9 piercing plus 3 thunder. And I don't get sneak attack.
Correct.
Unless... Oh no, I would have to have Shadow Blade.
Correct.
Okay, then I'm gonna just move around him this direction. I guess I'll bonus action disengage and then just...
Sounds good.
And that's my turn. Oh, wait. Hold on.
Mhm.
Sorry. If I don't move, I can use my steady aim.
Correct.
And then get the... Can I do that even though it... You can say no, it's fine.
I'll allow it, but you'll need to roll again because you would have rolled at advantage.
So just one more
Yeah, just one more normal. You'll still hit because you got at least one. All right, there you go.
Yeah.
So,
That's fine. And then now I can do my sneak attack.
yes, now add sneak attack, but then you can't move.
I can't move. Yeah. I'll do that then. That's fine. Use feature. Where is it? Why am I blind? Oh, ignore that. Sorry.
Ignore what? It's gone.
14.
14.
Piercing.
All right.
Appreciate you. You're a great DM.
All right, Irina is surprised, which brings us to the Death Slod, who the very first thing it's going to do is it is going to cast this.
Oh man.
Do. It so as it watches Sten hop away and get stabbed by Mim, it turns and its maw opens and this cloud of thick smoke begins to roll out. Everyone in that circle enters the area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there. On your turn is going to have to make a Constitution save. It is... Then going to move out, which will trigger Booming Blade.
And an opportunity attack?
And an opportunity attack. Oh, real quick, hold on. What's everyone's alignment? As weird of a question as this is.
Chaotic good.
Alistair, I know, is chaotic, right?
No, lawful neutral.
Lawful. Okay, Andar?
I don't remember.
I'm looking on your character sheet to see if you have it. Oh, you put your luck points there.
Yeah.
That's
Hang on, I have the original sheet I created.
that's so funny.
Alignment?
Definitely neutral. I don't know if I have him chaotic neutral.
All right. I need to look up one quick thing. Cool. So yeah, he's going to move towards Alistair, which will trigger an attack of opportunity and Booming Blade.
Yay. Is it roll to hit still for attacks of
Yes.
opportunity? Oh. Well, that sucks.
You miss.
Booming Blade! If it would go. Sorry, it's a 2d8, 1d8. I gotta pull it up. Sorry. It went
It
away.
says
Booming Blade.
2d8, yes.
Eight.
8, got it. It doesn't seem to be too greatly affected by the thunder damage.
Oh, man.
But it's gonna bear down on... It's going to eye Alistair, but it's gonna move over here. That's what it's gonna do. Alright. Which still does all that. So that brings us to Alistair, who's surprised, which brings us to top around Andar. You need to do a Constitution saving throw for me.
Cool.
All right.
So I'm gonna go ahead and use a luck point.
Which, as Andar uses a luck point, Alistair, you glow.
Sick. Is there any way to get rid of that at any point in time?
That's a good question. That's a hag question.
super thought that was tied to the shadow, but okay.
I kind of did too.
Yep.
All right. So you pass.
Do I take damage?
Do. Half as much on a successful one. So you're gonna take 10 poison.
Okay. I'm gonna move. And I will cast Chromatic Orb at it.
Go.
Does an 18 hit?
An 18 does hit.
Hooray! We'll have this do Booming Blade did thunder. We'll have this do poison.
Okay. All right, 7 poison.
Yeah.
Got it. It does seem to take notice of the poison, as compared to other damage so far.
Positive notice or negative notice?
As in, like, it actually pays slight attention, like, as the chromatic orb hits and splats on it, like, turns and swipes it off. As opposed to the thunder and fire, it's just been kind of ignoring up until this point. That your turn?
That's it.
All right, Sten.
Okay, so while it was moving, did it look like it was just kind of waltzing around or like intentional?
It
Trying to get a sense
scanned
of how
around and
fast it
locked
is.
on to Alistair. It seems to move at a fairly normal pace. It's not terribly fast or terribly slow.
Okay. Then I'm going to do animating performance.
Okay,
Get Reginald out there.
got it.
Yay.
Where would you like him?
I think it has to start next to me.
Boop.
Oh, within 30 feet. Well, it's next to me anyways. That's fine.
You can put it somewhere else. Where would
well,
you
it's-
like it?
It's usually holstered to me.
Okay, got it.
So,
That makes sense then.
and then I don't want to be here. I think it's scary. Oh my god. The tree is blocking the entire map for me. It's all black.
Oh, that's true.
Oh no.
Okay, does that say 20?
That was... Yeah.
Perfect. Then I will go my full movement and as a bonus action command Reginald to move and attack,
Got it.
which happens at the end of my turn. But I can also use Bardic Inspiration at the same time, which I will give to... Sorry, let me double check. 60 feet. Yeah, Alistair.
Cool.
Thank you.
Because you're... Well, Irene's going to need to save too. I can only pick one. Okay, so attack. That is... You're a spell attack modifier to hit. 20 total to hit.
Right. That'll hit.
And it does... D10s are the hardest thing to find. I don't know why. 9 force damage.
9 force damage.
And that's it.
Got it. Which brings us to Mim. You need to do a Constitution saving throw.
Yeah. Did it go? 19.
19 saves, so you also take 10 poison.
Dokie. You. Sorry. I think I'm gonna cast Shadow Blade.
Got it.
Wait. Yeah. Okay. And then. Wait. If I'm in dim light, sorry. Hold on. It's been a while since I've used Shadow Blade, so it's gonna take me a second. Okay, I do have a 23.
All right. 23 will hit.
17. Psychic. Wait. Yeah. And then keeps closing my freaking combat hood thingy. 22 sneak attack damage. Damn.
Got it.
Oh, I didn't even need Shadow Blade because Reginald's there. Dang. I didn't even see him because he blended in. Oh, well. Still helps. Okay. Whatever.
All right.
That'll be my turn.
Got it. Which brings us to Irina, who has to do a con save. She fails, which means she takes the full 19 poison damage. Do. Cool. She is going to roll out and do what she does with coordinated strike. She's gonna use a longbow because she can't get in close. Plus 6. Oh, I'm sorry. That's not the right thing. It should be 10 plus 2 plus 4. So it's 16, which is not enough. So she rolled 1s on both the 6s, which wasn't even supposed to be on there. But so she'll miss, but the Strahd has advantage. The next person who attacks the Strahd has advantage. Which, speaking of the Strahd, on its turn, you guys watch as some of the wounds in its skin regenerate, and you can see its wounds closing on itself. And secondly, this cloud rolls 10 feet this way. Then it is going to turn and roar in Mim's face, and then immediately turn invisible.
Are you fucking serious? This guy's annoying. I don't like it. He heals and he turns invisible.
Does that drop the cloud?
That's a good question. It is concentration. Is this concentration? Yes, it is. All right, so that will drop the cloud.
Oh, invisible frog.
Invisible frog.
Invisible zombie frog? Is that a better description?
All right. That brings us to Alistair.
All right, action summon sword.
Got it.
Bonus action shadow Alistair right there.
Cool. Right here.
Let me look. One up.
One up. There you go.
Mim, for your context, that white disc is dim light. Yellow around me is bright light.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Which brings us to Alistair. That was your turn?
Yep.
Holy. All right. Andar.
I'm going to move over here. And then I don't know how this would... Well, I'm going to cast see invisibility on myself.
Okay.
And then I don't know how this would work in turn order, but I want to command Doctor Who to stay hovered over wherever that frog is.
Doctor Who
As
acts
long as I can
after
see
your
it.
turn, so you could do that.
What? That's brilliant.
So wherever he is, theoretically, the little frogger should be under him.
Okay, and what's Doctor Who's movement speed is... He can dash, though.
Speed is 60 feet.
Doctor Who immediately flies and starts hovering right there.
Nice.
Clutch.
And that's it.
All right. That brings us to Sten.
Would we? Wow. So I just reached for a hat I'm not wearing. Do we? Do we have to roll at disadvantage still because even though we know the area, we still can't see him?
I'm gonna say yes because you can see where he, like the area where he is, but you still can't see him.
So
I would
wiggly
say,
dance.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna get just a little closer since I know he's not in front of me. And then bonus action command Reginald. He can move 30 feet total and I'll take a swipe. If he can move 30, I'll go here. Is it a straight roll then?
Straight roll. No, I'd say it's still disadvantage because, well, we'll say straight roll. I'll give it to you.
Ooh, not awesome. 11.
11. 11 does not hit. Reginald swings out and nothing happens.
That's it.
All right. Mim.
Okay, dokie. You know what? I think. You said disadvantage still? Yeah.
Disadvantage. Reginald got it because of Irina's targeting. Is why I gave it. So
Nice.
it'll still be
So
disadvantage.
still okay. I'm gonna throw my Shadow Blade.
Okay.
And I'm in. Oh no, wait, hold on. That it says the target has to be in dim light for advantage. Attack a target that is in dim light. Okay, so then never mind. I am just gonna go attack. So I guess I'll move up. That's my Shadow Blade still works. I just don't have advantage. But I think I get sneak attack if I hit, right? Sorry.
No, you don't get sneak attack because you're not rolling at advantage.
You don't need advantage on the attack roll if another enemy of the target is within 5 feet of it.
Oh, that's true. So then yes, you would get sneak attack.
So I don't get advantage, but if I hit, I do get sneak attack, but no advantage.
Correct.
Okay. I'll try and.
So it'll be at disadvantage to roll.
Don't consume the spell's attack. Damn. 12.
You miss.
That sucks.
Irina. I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. I'm gonna bonus action disengage and then just move back. Oh wait, no. How much should I move to get over here? Sorry, I didn't even think about that. 25. Never mind. I'll stay. Sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Irina is going to fire in that direction using same thing. So attack at disadvantage. Not enough. Which brings us to it. It is going to reveal itself from invisibility. And in doing so, is going to multi-attack. Is going to fire a claw at Doctor Who. Is a 20 hit.
I imagine so.
It does. That is 8 slashing and 8 necrotic. Which
Oh, he's gone.
Doctor Who vanishes. Poof. And then it's going to turn and lay a attack into Alistair.
After it gets sentineled. Does it attack Doctor Who?
Okay. Go ahead then.
Uh, 12 to hit. I think that misses.
Okay, that does miss.
You have a D8 you can use.
And you have
True, I'm gonna
advantage
do that.
because Irina just targeted it too.
Cool. You roll one more time. That's much better. 28 to hit.
28 will absolutely hit.
Oh crap. Is it undead?
It is not undead.
Okay. Then 11 points of radiant damage.
Right?
And its movement is 0.
Got it. That's good to know. It is going to lay its second attack into Alistair angrily now. 17 to hit.
That hits.
Minus a D4.
Minus the D4.
It wouldn't have mattered on Doctor Who. I checked the AC.
There's a 15 hit.
No, it does not.
All right.
Hey.
And then it is going to try and bite you, Alistair. Minus the D4.
It wouldn't hit no matter what.
Sick. All right. It's mad.
Are you mad? Get slashed.
So that brings us to Alistair. You're in front of it.
Oh, God. Well, 2 can play that game, and I go invisible.
All right. Poof. Alistair's gone.
Shadow Alistair moves to here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's my turn.
Got it. Andar.
Can I do one other thing?
What's the one other thing?
Bonus action Hex.
You can attempt.
Would like to attempt a bonus action Hex.
Go ahead. Is Hex concentration, though?
That's a good point. I would not like to attempt a bonus action Hex.
All right, there you go. Andar.
All right, I'm going to move down. And then cast another chromatic orb.
Got it.
Oh, let's go.
Wow, you're too
Bravo.
For poison.
Mm-hmm. And you can see Alistair, so I won't make you avoid him because you're still seeing invisibility, which you are concentrating on.
No, seed or what's it called? See, invisibility is not concentration.
Oh, is it not? Okay, then I take it back. I stand corrected. All right, 23 critical. You hurl this ball of poison that slams into it, and it roars in pain, heels back, and looks in your direction and squints, and you can see that there's almost an intelligence behind its eyes. It knows. Is that your turn?
That's it.
All right, Sten.
Okay, I'm going to cast Vicious Mockery.
Got it.
It needs to make a Wisdom save. I have nothing clever to say. It's minus a D4 also.
Got it. 18
saves.
And the reason it's advantage is because it has magic resistance. I forgot in the term of in case of your Bane, and so I'm letting the Bane stand. But it has advantage on saving throws against spells.
Bonus action. I see Mim, so I'll give Mim Bardic Inspiration.
Yeah.
You get a D8. And then I'll have Reginald attack again.
Got it.
There's a 21 to hit.
That'll absolutely hit.
Let's go, Reginald. 3 plus 4, 7 force damage.
7 force damage. All right.
And okay, I can see it. I want to get a little closer, Irina, just in case.
Fair. Mim.
I'm gonna do an attack with oh no, wait, I just consumed that spell slot. Oops, I will have to fix that. Attack advantage.
That's gonna hit.
22. Damage.
Damage.
Damage. And
Mim is
So-
laying into this thing, slashing it repeatedly. It's roaring as the blades scratch across its like chitinous flesh.
yeah. And that's my turn. Yeah.
Right. Irina is going to try and get in close. Use her coordinated strike with her rapier. I'm gonna say that's flanked. That's a lot of people around it. All right. Plus 2d6. That is 18 slashing. This thing is getting pummeled. It once again looks around. You see it almost grin, and it turns invisible once again. Andar, you can still see it. It's going to slide out from between them and work its way this way. So Andar, you can see. Everyone else will not see. Is there a way to do that? I don't know if there's a way to do that. Well, Andar, on your turn, I'll let you know where it is. Alistair.
Okay. Let's do purely guessing. Prime Alistair there.
Got it. You do not pass through it on your way.
Okay. Shadow Alistair here.
Got it.
And now that I've moved, I am going to hex it for strength checks.
Can you hex it without seeing it?
That is a great question, actually. I cannot, so I can't cast that.
Got it.
Then fuck it, that's my turn, honestly.
Got it. Andar. It's right here. You're the only one who can see it.
All right. I'm going to move 30 feet this way.
Mm-hmm.
Where is it again?
Right here.
And is it humanoid?
It is not. In fact, roll me an Arcana check as a wizard who has studied many years. You got no fucking clue what this thing is. That's a demon frog.
Many years, but not enough years. At least.
Yeah,
But you're still groggy from waking up. You're more focused on staying alive than remembering what this thing is.
I'm gonna shoot it with another chromatic orb at 3rd level.
Got it. Let me check one quick thing about invisibility. I know it reveals you if you do something. Just taking
You'll
damage.
need to make a concentration check.
Got
to
it.
maintain your spell. Minus a d4.
All right. 26 absolutely hits.
I cast it at 3rd, right? 2, 3. So 22 poison.
22 poison. Got it.
And that's it.
So it has to make a concentration check of 11, correct? Because it's half.
Yeah.
There's a Constitution saving throw. It's gonna stay invisible. All right. Which brings us to Sten. You can deduce it's over this way somewhere because that's why Andar threw his spell. But
Yeah,
you do not know exactly where.
I'm going to cast Shatter at 4th level.
Okay.
It's a 10-foot radius, so I'm generally going to get around where I saw he aimed that.
Okay.
Need a con save from you.
On save.
Oh, actually, wait, I was on the wrong thing. Yes, con save.
It's a unnatural 20.
Minus a D4.
Minus a D4.
It's a 16, so even if you got the 4.
Got it. Does it take
Is
half?
it made of inorganic material such
It
as
is
stone,
not.
crystal, metal? Okay. Yes, it will. It will take half.
Okay. So still will have to do a con save. It's probably gonna save. What?
16.
Got it. 16. So 8 is half. Or 16
what do you
half.
mean? Why are you making another save? Didn't you just make a save?
That was for the concentration because it took damage.
Oh,
So
okay.
you need to roll damage, Nick.
Yeah, I haven't rolled it. Well, you need to make minus another D4 because it might be full damage.
Got it. Then let's find out.
Yeah, so that's a fail.
Well, so the first save was the 20, which you said would pass even with the D4. But then you said it was going to take half damage, so this one was to maintain concentration. Because it's going to take damage. So I was just preemptively doing the
Oh,
concentration check.
I thought you were talking about the previous one. I'm sorry.
No, you're all good. So it's saved from shatter, so it takes half damage. I was just doing the concentration check early.
16, 22, 27, 29, 14.
14. Oh, wow. Okay, so, well, 14 damage. So it's still 10 for the concentration check.
Yeah.
So it will still maintain invisibility because it got a 13.
Bonus action. Going to move. Yeah, full 30 feet in front of me.
Got it.
That's it.
Mim. You know it's somewhere over here-ish, but you don't know where.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
We should just carry around paint, right?
Yeah.
Peace.
Yes. Let me. I'm looking at Fairy Fire real fast, so.
Okay.
Any.
I do think Fairy Fire would work. Let me double check, but
Yeah.
Fairy Fire. Yep, each object in a 20-foot cube.
Yeah. So I'd like to place it where I would think it would be. So
With a 20-foot cube, you're going to be, yeah,
is that okay?
that's fine. All right,
Okay.
and it is a dex save
Yeah.
at advantage, but minus a d4 to whatever the highest is, which it's probably going to fail. It absolutely is going to fail.
Yeah. Super fail.
So that's a 5. Any creature, if it fails, so it's outlined in light. So you guys can now see an outline of it. It is
That's the
dead
first time
center.
I got to use it for a good, and it worked. I love that. Wow, look at my aim. I mean, everybody, wow.
All right. It is outlined. You can see it. That's your action, though.
Yeah. Any attack roll against an affected creature or object has advantage if the attacker can see it. And it is... C means concentration,
Yes.
right? Okay. So my Shadow Blade is gone. I didn't think about that, but oh well. I think this is
Correct.
better. Then that's fine. Bonusing action in... I don't need a bonus action. I'll just move.
Cool.
And that's my turn. That's my turn.
Got it. Irene is going to take advantage of the fact that you've made it visible. Oh, she can't make that. Never mind. She's going to move here. Is she within 30 feet of it? She should be. Oh, she's not. Well, she will be. Boom. Now, she's going to use her coordinated strike with her longbow. Gonna miss, but it is targeted. All right, which brings us to it. It recognizing it's glowing. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Is going to... Oh. Hold on.
Irina had advantage on it, by the way. I don't know if you, because of fairy fire.
Oh, well then I'll try again.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Nope.
Okay.
All right, let's see. Let me see about that. Nope, it's not gonna do that. Instead, it's gonna do this. It's gonna cast fly on itself. And in doing so, it is going to fly 60 feet into the air, which will provoke a attack of opportunity from him.
Yay. Whoa. Wait.
Which will be an advantage because of Irina.
Cool. Attack. Advantage. 19.
That hits.
And that also means attack, right? Because of...
Because advantage. Goddamn, yeah.
Alright.
That's 23.
Yeah.
This thing is bleeding.
Yeah. Beesh.
All right. It is 60 feet up in the air looking down at you, Alistair.
Let me see. It flew 60 feet into the air.
Correct.
Okay. How far away from is it on ground level? Oh, that's the wrong thing. Ignore that. With 60 feet in the air. Shit. Okay. Okay. Prime Alistair here.
Mm-hmm.
You there. And then I'm going to cast Hex
Got it.
for strength checks.
Okay.
Turning me visible. And that's a bonus action. So my next, can you cast 2 cantrips if one's an action, one's a bonus action?
No.
No, I guess Hex is a leveled spell. So
Hex
can I
is a
still
leveled
cast
spell.
cantrips?
I think only with that
It's
Matt
a bonus
Mercer
action.
thing, right? 'Cause you can only, let me double check. But I want to say you can only cast 1 spell a turn unless you take that, like, can you cast 2 spells in 1 turn? A spell cast with a bonus action is a special swift. So you can cast a bonus action spell, and then you can cast a cantrip that is 1 action.
Cool. Then I'm going to Radiant Blast it twice.
All right. Fire away.
You have advantage
Sweet, thank you.
because of fairy fire.
First one's a 28 to hit.
That is a hit.
Cool. So 6 force damage.
Mm-hmm.
Second one is
Not needed. How do you want to do this?
Hey, oh.
As it takes off in the air, and I assume Mim would be going to move after it, I'm just going to try and throw one ahead of Mim, missing her and sniping it out of the air.
All right. So it launches up into the air. Mim literally slashes at it as it goes, and her blade goes along its length. It's bleeding profusely. It flies 60 feet up, and as it's reaching the peak of its flight, Alistair lets loose a bolt that hits it, impacts, its body goes limp, and it falls. Ragdolled. Doosh, impacting right in front of Mim.
Oof.
And the dust
Sad
settles.
lad.
Sad slad.
Ugh.
You
Morning.
guys wrecked that thing.
I'm gonna give it a little kick. He's dead.
All
Where
right.
did that come from?
How did that get inside the tiny hut? Who brought it in?
Wondering the same thing.
Where is the box? Is it on the ground or anything, or do we
It's
see
over
it,
back where you were.
Is anyone awake?
It woke me up.
Definitely woke me up.
I'm gonna look at Shadow Alistair, just like see if he saw anything.
He looks at you look at him. He looks back at you.
Well, we exist to annoy each other, so.
Well, I guess we can never sleep safely again. Jesus. Ender, are you sure you cast Tiny Hut correctly?
Just gonna look over at you. And then walk away to where it was.
I mean, I'm not trying to accuse you or anything. I don't know how any of it works for Tiny Hut, and it's a bit strange.
Also, all 4 of you, I need you to roll me a spellcasting ability check. Whatever your spellcasting ability is.
Oh.
So, for Andart's intelligence, for Sten it's charisma, for Alistair, I believe it's charisma, for
Natural
Mim, it should
20
be also
for
be
a
intelligence.
25.
Okay.
9.
You said ability check?
Yes. All right. Andar, roll me a d10. All right. And Sten, what did you get?
9.
9. And what was the highest spell you cast that fight? Level?
4th level.
Okay. I also need you to roll me a d10.
8.
8. All right. All right. Thank you very much.
Oh no. Does anyone know what that thing was?
Andar, if you want to roll me an Arcana check now that you're more awake and have you're not in the middle of the heat of battle. All right, so looking at it, and examining its dead body. And now that you have a moment to breathe, you recognize that this is a Strahd. A Strahd is a giant demonic frog. It's an aberration. And they're chaotic creatures that generally don't exist on the material plane, but are known to plane shift from plane to plane, causing mayhem and chaos wherever they go. There's a variety of types. There's red, green, blue, gray, and death Strahds. Looking at this one, it was either a gray or a death. It's tough to tell just from the body itself. But you know that they're highly intelligent, and about half of them can cast spells at will. And they reproduce through very gruesome means. Some of them reproduce by eating other Strahd. Some of them reproduce by ingesting humans and or other creatures and regurgitating them as Strahd. They're pretty messy and deceptively intelligent creatures.
Gross. I will relay all of that information.
So what was one doing here in Barovia?
I'm honestly more concerned about how it got into the tiny hut.
Are we
It shouldn't
near
be
where
able to from the outside, from what I know. Suppose we could have very unfortunately chose a placement where it was already hiding.
I mean, Strahd's already gotten in. Very similar sounding
well,
name.
exceptionally powerful wizards and spellcasters can get rid of a tiny hut, but I don't know of any creature that can do so.
I mean, it just turned invisible and flew away.
Can
Yes,
I?
that's magic on itself. Not magic on my magic.
Can I look around our camp area?
Sure, roll me an investigation check.
Okay. Investigation 9.
The fog is still dispersing, and so you can kind of see like the tops of your bedrolls and stuff, but it's tough to make out any details on the ground.
Well, nowhere where I can see it came from.
Can I roll insight on everyone who's so far said, I don't know, I'm wondering what this thing is and how this happened?
Sure.
Okay.
Sten, that'll be against a deception check for you.
Good luck.
16.
16.
1.
16 also.
Oh!
Rollies!
Meets it, beats it. Sten seems shifty.
I don't say anything yet.
They ask me and I don't say anything. I don't say it yet.
Is it meets it beats it for 2 players against each other? 'Cause they both
I'm
rolled
setting the
same thing.
DC.
Correct. Exactly. Because Sten is essentially defending and Mim is aggressing. Mim wins. But Mim, you can tell that Sten seems off.
Okay.
Almost like I just mouthed off to Strahd a couple hours before this.
I'm gonna look around our campsite area too now.
Roll me investigation.
$14.
All right, with a 14, you are able to peek at a slight glint laying on the ground, and you find the remnants of the box itself. Oops, I accidentally closed the thing. And lying on the ground where the box, along with the remnants of the open box, you find a diamond necklace, a silver bracelet, and a wand.
I wonder how this got here. Sen, wasn't this in your bag?
Uh,
And I pick up the cube box remnant things. Wasn't this the
It is
thing?
splayed open, like a flower with this gear in the center and the top splayed open.
Wait, do you guys think maybe it came from here?
I mean, I was sleeping there.
Maybe it probably broke open.
I probably rolled over. It's a nice jewelry, though.
Well, do you guys think they're poisoned or anything? Or like, can I grab one?
Fuck it, this is super Alistair. I pick up the wand on the ground.
You pick it up. It appears to be a wand. Doesn't activate or anything. Clearly a magical item.
Hey, Andar. This seems to have come out of that somehow.
I'll just hold my hand out.
I'll give it over.
I'll start casting Identify as a ritual.
All right.
I'm gonna go like walk over next to Sten, but like watch Andar, but then kind of side eye Sten a little bit and try and make eye contact with him and kind of glare a little bit.
Yes, ma'am.
Nothing.
Doesn't seem like nothing.
You tell me, Sten.
Well, I asked you what's up, and then you said, do you need some sleep?
Yes, I needed sleep before that thing somehow came out of that box.
It's not even the same size as the box. How did...
Okay, well, it is a little odd though that the box is open and there's a thing that somehow is in Tiny Hut and that thing was in your bag.
I mean, I move around a lot when I sleep. I'm sure I roll on top of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I know you did something, Stan. You're being shifty.
I didn't do anything.
The betrayal.
We don't know.
Mim's glaring at you and
It'd be sure nice to not have any other distractions, though. Very fortunate that we took care of it so quick.
Mm-hmm.
Last night wasn't the same story.
Mm-hmm.
Do you need to get something off your chest, Mim?
Mm-mm.
Irina goes and kind of looks at the jewelry on the ground and kicks one of them over, and nothing appears to happen, but she refrains from picking it up.
Is it because I didn't sign that friend contract? Way back when. I wasn't really myself, kind of absent that day.
I don't remember who all did sign that.
I
I think actually almost everybody except Sten, because he wasn't here. We didn't want to sign a contract without him being here.
Maybe not. And I walk over and pick up the one that Irina kicked.
there is a necklace and a ring on the ground. A necklace and a bracelet. Sorry, a diamond necklace and a silver bracelet.
Well, I was gonna pick whatever one she kicked up and toss it to her, but I don't know. Okay, I'll just pick them both up and look at them.
Okay. They appear. The necklace is features multiple diamonds hanging on a chain, and the silver bracelet is fairly unadorned, a polished silver bracelet.
Mm-hmm. I'm just like, ooh. Too scared to put it on or anything until Andar's done with at least the wand.
Alistair, is there anything that you want to do during the identification ritual, or do you just wait?
Yeah, I'm going to look over at Shadow Alistair and say they seem good now in Celestial and dismiss him.
They seem good, referring to the group.
Our
Got it.
friends seem safe.
Got it.
How loud do you say that?
Loud enough.
I'll say by Shadow in Celestial also.
Ah, awesome.
As it like starts to get like sucked to the ground, you say bye Shadow, and it kind of like, as it's like its chest is already sunk to the ground, it kind of like turns its head and quirkily raises an eyebrow before its head like slides into shadow position.
I constantly forget that you know how to speak that too, Stan. We should use that more often.
Yeah, it's more like how you go to school and you learn the language. Some things stick, some things don't.
Gotcha. Well, I seem to know it. Not entirely sure as to how, but it's like first nature.
Weird.
Yeah, why don't you guys just go and talk in your secret language and all your secrets?
It's called Celestial. Not a secret. Many people speak it. In fact, a lot of like, I wouldn't say holy is the right word, but angelic almost.
Either
Well,
way,
not me, I guess.
seems strange. Well, I don't know how good of a teacher I would be. Not entirely sure why I know how I know it, but we could try.
And after 10 minutes, you get the ping back from the ritual. It is a wand of enemy detection.
Ooh.
That would have been nice
Ooh.
20 minutes ago.
All right, let me see if I have that easily grabbable. Wand of enemy detection. I do. Here you go. Is going into your inventory.
Andar, do you know what these things are? Or if they're safe? I'm sorry I didn't believe in your tiny hut. I know for a fact that you did really good job with your tiny hut.
What things are you asking? I just got done looking at this thing.
I know the jewelry though.
Oh.
I want to put
You
it.
have it.
I just bring it to him. I'm just like.
I'm gonna stick the wand in my little bag and cast Identify again.
All right.
Like 10 seconds into him casting that. And I don't want to interrupt, but it would be nice to get back to sleep.
No one's stopping you.
Do you feel safe here?
Where else would we go?
I'm more talking about shifting focus to another hut.
What good's that? Never
Well, I'll be awake for the next 10 minutes, at least. You can go to sleep, right here-ish. And then I pinky promise that I'll cast Tiny Hut, including you.
All right. Wherever he pointed, I'll just curl up right there.
All right. I hear.
I'll point there.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone want to do anything else while Andar is identifying?
Just gonna wait.
Okay. Andar, did you do the necklace or the bracelet first?
The necklace, it's shinier.
All right. After 10 minutes, Identify finishes. The necklace has no magical properties. It is a diamond necklace.
I'll toss it back to Mim. Be like, it's just a necklace. As far as I can tell.
Yay.
Would you like me to do the bracelet, or do you just want to assume that it's just a bracelet?
Well, I mean, One can never be too careful. I see. Do you have the energy to do the bracelet too?
I'm just gonna cast Detect Magic, not as a ritual on myself.
Got it. You cast Detect Magic. The bracelet is not magic.
Lame.
Just a bracelet.
Ugh. Alright, I'm sorry for wasting your time.
No waste. Considering all of the other stuff that we've picked up. And on some of us almost getting our hands shot off because of it.
Anyway, good night.
So I'm going to take a step back and then cast Tiny Hut. No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
I'll cast Tiny Hut there. And then once it's up, I'm going to spend the next hour recasting Find Familiar.
Got it.
Because I would very much like my friend back.
Fair enough. Irina goes over and Mim, do you still have the box or did you set it down?
I think I would have set it down.
Irina goes over and picks it up and kind of looks at it. Is this a common thing? Whatever this is.
Are tiny magic boxes something I am familiar with?
Is that a question for me or is that a question
Yeah.
for her?
It's more like, can I roll something to see if I know what it is, or do I definitely not know what it is?
You've read about a lot of magical. Well, roll me a history check, just for kicksies. Solid. You've heard about a lot of magical artifacts. Obviously, you're very familiar with magical items. Enchanting things like boxes or puzzle boxes isn't outside of the realm of logic that you've heard of, but you can't think of anything specific that would apply to something like this. And the concept of a puzzle box that triggers some sort of demonic summon, A, seems kind of pretentious, and B, seems slightly mischievous compared to what you would imagine most functional design of magic items.
I don't know what this is specifically, but I'm not exactly surprised of its existence. This doesn't seem abnormal or unusual to me.
So, should we get rid of it, or I guess is anything else going to? Is it capable of doing anything else?
Can we hide other things in it?
I would assume not. Typically, these sorts of things, from what I recall, once they're expended, they're expended. But I don't know.
She looks at it for a moment.
You could put it outside of the tiny hut, just in case.
I was thinking the same thing. I don't think it's worth the risk. And she turns
Or you
and she
cover it
literally
with a
like
rock or something.
she squares up and she just whoosh, throws it out into the rain.
Oh, okay. Perhaps we want to keep an eye on it. Keep your enemies close.
What? You could have said that before I threw it.
Well, you seemed eager to throw it.
Well, it's if it's caused us trouble, and you said that it was.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get the box.
Roll me. You want investigation or survival?
Jesus, please hold.
It's got a good hand then, throwing that far.
Survival is what I would like.
All right, roll me a survival check.
Easy, 19.
All right, you do manage to find it wedged into the mud a little ways under the road.
I'm gonna pick it up.
Its mechanisms are kind of caked with mud now.
I prestidigitation to get
Whoosh,
it
it's
clean. I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to put my crossbow on the ground.
Okay.
And then I'm going to aim the box at it.
Mm-hmm.
And just try to will it to pick up the crossbow.
All right.
Anything happen?
You stand in the rain, you set down the crossbow, you point the open box at it, and you will the box. And you're standing in the rain holding a box at a crossbow.
Okay, not a pokebox. And I'll pick up the crossbow and go back.
Damn.
Alistair comes back dripping wet and with a slight look of disappointment.
It's definitely not what I thought it was, but probably still good to keep on us versus other people stumbling across it.
Well, if it causes us any more trouble, then that's on you then.
Fair enough.
I still think you can leave it like right out the door. We can look at it, but it's there.
And I'll put it in my bag and throw my bag outside of Tiny Hut.
All right.
Actually, right before you go to throw out your bag, she goes, wait. And she comes over and, yeah, I'm going to dismiss Reginald. I have an idea. Mind if I take it for just a moment? I'll give it back.
Sure. I'll give it to her.
She takes it out, and I'm going to have her see if she's capable of figuring out the mechanism. Damn. She looks at it
What
for
do
a
you-
moment.
What are you trying to do?
Well, I have an idea, but it would require us to be able to reclose it. And I'm not quite sure how it works.
Here, you're twisting that the wrong way. I'll help her. She can roll that again.
All right. Both of you are hunched over this box. All right, with 13, she manages to actually what is the DC? All right.
We break the box and another 3 of them come out.
You managed to get like 2 of the panels close to like you managed to figure out how to close 2 of them, but there's 2 panels that still have the box kind of semi hanging open.
Well, it's further along than it was.
Well, you give it a try, and she hands it to you. Roll me an intelligence check if you want to help.
Jesus. We have the same modifier.
Hey, luck rolls.
You've got time.
Okay. 16.
All right. So with the 16 and the fact that you guys were able to get the first 2 panels, you do manage to figure out how to reset the panels. And right before you're about to close the top again, she goes, wait. And she pulls out the piece of brimstone. I don't want this to somehow accidentally get broken. And she pops it into the box.
Fair. And I'll close the box.
Hell yeah.
Was that the first time you've learned that she has it, not me?
Yeah, I think so.
Nice.
How did you have it in the first place?
I stole it from her and
Uh-huh.
gave it to Sten and said, you know better what to do with this than me.
Uh-huh. And he gave it back to her.
Yeah.
I don't
'cause
remember
I
when
took it
Sten
from-
gave it back to her.
It's like a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I took it from her because she was under
She
a
w-
spell.
Well,
Right.
and at one point she almost used it when she was going to die with the werewolves.
Right.
Which is I do remember that's when Sten took it, or when Alistair took it. I don't remember how it. I remember Alistair gave it to Sten. I don't remember how it got back to Sten from Sten to Irina, but it's been in her inventory for a long time.
I gave it back to her like the next night.
Got it. That'd be why.
Yeah.
But her opinions have shifted since then.
Fair.
Yay. Progress, I think.
All right. So for intents and purposes, we'll say Alistair, you now have the brimstone, and I'm gonna hand it to your inventory.
Cool.
Oh, if it will allow me to add it to your inventory. Oh, it added it twice. There's only one There can only be one. All right.
Nice duping tech.
Yeah. All right. Well. And now, if it breaks in the box, then the box just goes there, and he can deal with whatever trouble that is. In theory.
Sounds good to me.
Well, as Andar's like still in the middle of his ritual. Andar, actually, quick question: if the brimstone, I was told the brimstone breaking the brimstone would send me to Ravenloft, or I presume Ravenloft. If it breaks in the box, would it still send me, or would it send the box?
It's a good thing I've gotten a lot of practice splitting my attention during these.
I'm sorry. I feel like it's an important question.
I have no idea. You could shake the box up and we could see.
You know,
Little coy smile.
color me a magic enthusiast, but I'm not sure I'm willing to gamble on that.
I think that's probably the right choice.
All right. Well, to bed then. I'm sorry again, Andar. And she goes back to her bedroll, which all of your bedrolls at this point are slightly damp from turning off Tiny Hut while the rain was still coming down.
Andar's focusing on something, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll fix it. So nothing's damp anymore. For
Oh,
everybody.
cool. You go around and undampen everyone's
Yeah,
bedrolls.
Thank you.
of course.
All right. Anyone besides Andar doing anything before bed?
Is Sten sleeping already?
Made a conscious effort to.
Well, then never mind. I'll just go.
All right. In that case, Andar, after about an hour, you do manage to summon back Doctor Who. Let me check one quick thing that I haven't had to check in a very long time. Do okay. Here we go. Yep. You managed to summon Doctor Who back, and when you do so, he literally claws his way out of the ground. This bony bird shakes off the dirt. Doesn't seem too happy with having died.
I'll give him a little scratch under his chin.
Also, just a heads up, I don't know if we had this before, but finding familiars in Barovia makes the familiars undead, not celestial fae or fiend. So just a heads up for that. I'm not sure if we covered that before or not, but
I think we did.
I think so. I just noticed I had him marked as fae on accident, so I remarked him. All right. Anything else you want to do before you fall asleep, or is that the end of your day as well?
IRL bathroom break, if we could.
Cool.
Port this.
Real quick before Andar, was there anything else you wanted to do before your long rest?
No.
All right. Then we'll settle down for a long rest and we'll have a bathroom break. I will see you guys in a minute. All right. We're back. You guys do manage to get a long rest off.
Yeah.
Sten and Andar, I need you guys to start tallies for me with a 1 on it. All right. You guys wake up and find that the rain is even heavier than it was when you went to bed. Even with the muted sounds of Tiny Hut, it is really coming down. You do manage to get along.
Recast Tiny Hut,
All right.
assuming I have 10 minutes before Tiny Hut goes away.
We can make that happen.
Does the wand of enemy detection have any prereqs to attunement? Or can it be attuned to anybody?
Let's find out. So you just have to spend an hour attuning to it. There's no specific classes or anything. And you have to have the capability to use magic items.
I'm going to start doing that.
All right. So as you guys are starting to wake up and are recast Tiny Hut and then starts huddling over a wand. What do the rest of you guys do?
I'm going to summon the hilt of the Sunblade and clip it to my belt. That way it's out.
Cool.
Because that's been a bitch to me the last 2 times we've had fights.
Fair.
I'm gonna bring out the orb thingy.
The orb, the brooch.
Yeah.
Yep.
And before I activate it, I think I'll be like, oh, show me something good, please, 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 please.
All right. Let's see. $43. That's not Andar. That's fine. So the 43. The orb expands. And you see a Vistani man riding down the Svalich Road. Where he is, it doesn't appear to be raining very heavily. And he seems surrounded by thick forest. From the foliage, you can gather that he is somewhere in eastern Barovia. You're not sure where. And he appears to be riding alone. You watch him kind of coax his horse down the road. And after a moment, he comes to a rise in the path, and you see that he's heading towards the mist wall.
Can everybody see this, or is it just Stan?
The orb expands out in front of him, so everyone can see that's paying attention. It's essentially like a scrying spell.
Gotcha.
My crystal orb.
But it's a random member of this realm.
At least a nice change of pace to see a normal day.
They can hear through the orb, right?
No. Well, Sten can hear, like,
That.
Sten can hear, but they can't hear Sten.
How long does it last?
Only like 10, 15 seconds.
Oh.
It's not a true scrying spell. You essentially get a peek into some random event.
I don't know how I always thought they just teleported to something. Because it makes a lot more sense to go through the fog.
Do you guys remember the, oh god, the boy? What was his name?
The Volakovich kid.
Victor?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Who
wonder
was like
whatever happened to him.
trapped.
Not that he was a good guy by any stretch of the imagination, but something we didn't follow up on.
I asked somebody after I saw it, and they said he was being moved somewhere.
Well, he popped up in front of us the one time, and then he vanished as quickly as he came. That's not normal.
No. This is more of a one-way experience.
What do you
Very
mean?
weird.
What do you mean one way?
Well, this is a bit broken how I understand the spell, but normally you choose to either look at someone or hear something, and you just exist over where they are for a moment, spying. They can't see you. They might see that there's, something in the area. I mean, suspect it, but they can't see you the way that you see them. We see through here.
I'm sorry. I misunderstood. You're referring to that, and she kind of gestures at the brooch. There was a point that he physically appeared before us for but a moment.
It was through this. We had a vision of him, and he reached through what we just saw.
Above table, wasn't there a point that you guys also ran into him on the road too for like half a second?
When we were looking at him through the brooch, we were looking at us, and we were like, what the hell? And then he appeared behind us.
Right.
Oh, I thought he reached through. Oh, okay, I remember that. Totally wrong.
He appeared. He did physically appear before you, and then he vanished.
Oh.
And then we saw a little bit of him like tumbling through like subspace type thing, which is how we found out about that entire quest line.
Gotcha.
Whatever it was, I mean, that wasn't normal, right? I know that with magic you're capable of traveling from place to place, but he didn't seem comfortable or to be in control of whatever was happening to him.
Well,
No
I
spell.
read his
know of.
journal. Yeah, I read his journal, and I don't know if he really understands what he's doing.
Is it possible? Well, I don't know how this stuff works, but how is it supposed to work when done properly? Is there a certain standard?
For being in one place and then another very quickly?
Teleportation? I'm not sure. Is that what that is?
I believe the standard would be you're here, then you're there. And all of you goes with it. And then you stay there.
So is it possible that if he didn't know what he was doing, would that just put you in another place, or?
I think it depends on how you mess up.
I do kind of wonder if he was trying to get out of Barovia and Barovia bit back, so to speak.
So is there anything to be done?
Andar, any ideas?
Am I done attuning? If I'm not done attuning to this wand yet, I'm ignoring everything around me.
You would not be done.
Andar has no ideas.
We could ask him when he's done, I presume.
I thought we found out somehow that he was just like literally rotating through, teleporting from like place to place, and couldn't control it or something. Is what it seemed like.
He is essentially, from what I've gathered, teleport blinking all across to Barovia.
Yeah. Okay.
So he's trying to create his own teleportation magic. He doesn't know how to do it. He's been testing.
Oh, see, I thought he was like trapped.
Well,
so he practiced magic, and that's why the oh god, what's her name? Who rules Vallaki now?
Fiona
Wachter, yes.
Miss Wachter.
That's why her daughter is transformed into like a cat or whatever. Because he was practicing magic long enough and then pretty much broke it because he wasn't doing it correctly.
Yeah.
But,
no, I remember that. I thought he was trapped. Like I thought he tested it and got stuck, but that makes sense.
No, so he was ramping it up, and there was like a broken portal that he was trying to make or something like that, or an incomplete, which might explain the flashes at night that you were seeing.
The daughter's name is Stella.
Stella, thank you.
Stella.
So
I don't know. I just remembered that last evening, and it's weird. Wonder what he's up to now. If he's still caught in that, or worse, not around anymore.
Well, I don't remember Fiona being too happy with the Volokoviches. I'm sure if she knows or not, if he's around, her efforts are probably in finishing her business.
well, you guys have a full hour while Andar huddles over this wand. Is there anything that you guys want to do or any other topics that you want to discuss?
So we are going to the winery, right?
Yes.
Thought
I think
so.
we are at the crossroads to turn into the winery, I think, is where we stopped.
And so we celebrate. Another day lived. And then we ask them maybe what they know about the Kresk family. The Kreskovs. If it's possible they stole a gem, or what do we need?
That seems sound to me, as well as any info on the Fanes they might have. We learned about that after visiting them, didn't we?
Yes. Should we let them know that we've officially made an enemy?
I mean, they're good people. It might be good for their own protection. But also, we might get shut out and thrown onto the streets.
That's why I'm saying celebrate first, right?
And remind me, was Irina in the room when you guys spoke to Erwin in Vallaki, or did he have her wait?
I think it was just Alistair that was outside because we were worried about someone looking through his eyes.
That's what I thought. She'll then, in that case, she'll, as useful as it might be to potentially strengthen, or rather than strengthen, as useful as it might be to show a need to leverage their resources, they did seem hesitant to take a hard stance when we spoke to Erwin. I can't... Obviously, Davian and Erwin don't always see eye to eye, but it's... We have to recognize that there might be some risk in putting all of our cards on the table.
Most I agree. I also do think we're getting to the point to play the hand.
In worst case scenario, they're just aware that they need to look out for our
Bestie?
potential misfortunes. Or maybe it's a warning that if they've been looking out, they can better judge their distance.
I also have to assume that they know a little bit, and I'll look up to the ravens that are almost always around us.
Are they still there?
Roll me a perception check.
$16.
You do spy a couple of them huddled under branches, trying to seemingly stay out of the hardest areas of rain.
So they at least know a little.
Might be good to plan for our inevitable meeting with Baba. To start thinking about it. I'm sure word has gotten back to her if what was her name? At
The
the
other
dinner.
wife? Yeah.
If she knows and she finds out it was us. But maybe she finds out that Strahd is angry at us. I don't know. But then all the same, we need her heart.
Out of curiosity, they said that Baba was a witch, correct?
Mm-hmm.
What defines a witch as opposed to a wizard or a warlock or other spellcasters, sorcerers of the like? Is it something specific?
Not that I know of. Might think old magic, though.
Old as in like hag magic, or old as in something
Maybe.
else?
Probably closer to hag magic.
Well, that will be fun.
It
Our lunch
always
is here. Hold one moment. We've received a delivery.
Irina, you know it's pouring down rain, right?
Very rude for the delivery drivers in adverse weather.
Unfortunately, we seem to be a little bit of occupied on our trek, so I figured this was the easiest course of action.
I didn't know they had fries in Barovia.
They're actually from Belgium.
All right. Do you guys want to continue that discussion? Is there any other stuff that you want to hit or play along, or do you want to jump ahead a little bit?
I want to know what Irina ordered in Barovia. God damn it! I want this plot line. Ayo.
Burgers.
Is that a boiga?
A boiga.
G-
There's this redheaded girl. She makes great burgers.
The cleric of snacks.
She runs around all of Barovia. I believe her name is Wendy.
I hear her public relations are top notch.
Oh man.
She's quite a fan of bacon, I've heard as well. She made a very specific sandwich involving the thing. Inventive, that one. She's going places, I think.
On a side note, the Uber Eats delivery fees at my house right now are like $13.
Yeah,
That's
it's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't think many people like driving through a ton of snow.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's just ridiculous over here because we don't have fucking drivers. Like, nobody does it over here.
Mm-hmm.
Just one really buff person sprinting down the road. I got you. Kool-Aid man through your house.
I heard you needed a delivery.
I think I just wrote a DoorDash commercial. That's funny. Yeah, I'm ready to get moving.
All right. So, Andar, after an hour, you do manage to attune your energy to that of the wand.
Terribly sorry. This was a little trickier than the rituals I usually do. So I ignored all of you.
Nice to have a slower morning.
I don't understand how that's different from usual.
I'm gonna use one of the charges and speak its command word to use it.
Alright.
Just to test.
I light up.
The direction of the nearest hostile to you within 60 feet. You use
The
it.
ravens light up.
So,
Oh,
So-
I'd be
So
sad.
fucked.
as
Nothing lights up.
as worded, you expend one charge and you speak the command word, and for the next minute, you know the direction of the nearest hostile creature to you, but not its distance. You only know it's in a certain direction. So you cast the command word, and the wand pulses with energy, and your arm tugs slightly, and points in this direction from you. Here, I'll show the screen. This direction.
I'm gonna walk between the tiny hut and the people I'm with to about here, staying in the tiny hut.
Mm-hmm.
Is it still going in that direction?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good.
It does not point to Irina.
If I smoosh over here, does it still point in that direction?
At that point, it points this way.
Looking over there, do I see anything?
You do not.
So, this one's telling me there's some sort of hostile thing over this way, and I'll point down there.
How close?
Within 60 feet.
Pretty close.
I'm gonna cast see invisibility on myself.
You do so.
Take another look.
You cast see invisibility, and you still don't see anything.
This platform here.
Mhm.
Is this the same one that we walked by that someone saw? Was it a person or themselves or something?
I took a big bite.
How's your food? Everything okay?
It was a good thing.
Can I get you
I was
anything?
trying to get through quick. It is very similar in construction. It is not the same one. The one that you encountered was down by very early on near the village of
On the east
Barovia.
side? Okay.
But this is very similar
by
in
the-
construction.
By the camp. By the
Correct. Near
That's right.
the
Madame Ava.
the
Right.
encampment.
That's right. Okay.
Mim and
Their
I walked
pool.
out 30 feet. Do we see anything?
No, you do not.
And
Maybe it's broken.
It's just about to ask, how certain are you that it works?
When you're attuning with something, do you get a certainty when it's actually attuned and working?
You know from your knowledge of magic that this is attuned. Real quick, roll me an Arcana check. So you start to think, okay, I can't see this thing. It's not invisible, but it's definitely pointing this direction, and it's within 60 feet. You start reviewing your knowledge of magic and specifically wands, and you remember that wands of enemy detection can sense the presence of hostile creatures that are ethereal, invisible, disguised, or hidden, as well as those in plain sight. So you can't see it. It's not invisible because you can't see it with invisibility. So you're either looking at something that's disguised as something else, is hidden here, or is ethereal, and is not technically on the material plane if it were to be ethereal.
Well, I'm certain it's working. What
Oh.
it's detecting is the mystery.
Also, just a heads up for Mim and Alistair having stepped outside. It is raining so heavily that like the raindrops almost hurt. And Mim, it is difficult for you to maintain flight. It literally is hammering down on you. You can like hover for a little bit and then it will hit your wing and like tilt you. It is you can only fly for short spurts with how heavy this rain is.
What is it to?
I'm sure if it's a problem, it'll make itself known. Shall we go get some wine?
Is that this way?
The
Towards
winery
The winery? Yeah.
is technically this way, over yonder.
Wait, oh, I just saw you. I saw a ping in the very dead center of the map. Oh, okay.
Sorry, it's from you. From you, it's over this way. So this
So
this
north
way
is
leads
north is to
south.
the left. Cool.
This way leads north. This way leads west, and this way will curve south eventually.
Gotcha. So this is around, not too far where we saw the headless horseman.
Correct. This is the same vicinity. I just didn't have a map for it at the time.
Cool. Speak.
But is it perception to see if I can find something that's hidden?
It would be investigation because you're looking.
Okay. I just feel too on edge. Dirty 20.
Dirty 20, look around. Literally nothing seems out of place. You don't see any stray footprints other than those of your companions and the slot itself. You do see some worn tracks of carts and some like old hardened footprints of people from the road that are filled in with water at this point. You don't hear any unnatural noises. There are some birds in the trees, mostly ravens. Everything seems oddly still, and other than the fact that it's heavily raining, but literally nothing seems out of place.
And there were no ravens in that.
There are some ravens in that tree, but the wand is not pointing up at the tree.
Okay.
Do Endar and I feel any different this morning?
No.
Okay. Well, it doesn't look like it's going to let up. Either a couple hours now or a couple hours later.
Irina's rolled up her bedroll and tossed it onto her pack. Well, no time like the present, unless there's anything else we want to get done.
Sounds good to me.
All right. And you guys step out of Tiny Hut into the rain.
Can I use shape water for the 5-foot cube above my head to redirect the flow of the rain from down to a 45-degree angle, effectively making a little invisible umbrella over me?
I like it. Let me see if that's a possibility. Shape water. It says yeah, it says you move or otherwise change the flow of water as you direct up to 5 feet in any direction. So yeah, you could have it just distinctly avoid you. And it lasts up to an hour.
I'm going to do that.
All right.
Tiny Fairy, you're more than welcome to ride on my back. I noticed that you've had a little bit of trouble staying up.
Oh my god, I immediately zoom over. I'm like, oh my god, thank you.
She
Oh my
like
god, you can change the water's color as you're doing it too.
That's cool.
she like buzzes the short distance to you, and then because she can't physically make it up to your shoulder, she like grabs onto your leg and clambers up your back.
I'm going to have a look on my face as if I'm rethinking this entire offer, but let it happen.
Yes.
You have what's essentially a small infant or toddler perched on your back.
I'm gonna like, you know how dogs shake to get the water off? I just do that with my wings real fast to kind of get the water off my wings.
And prestidigitation to dry myself off from that. And then off we go.
Sorry.
Doctor Who is like clambered on the other shoulder and very uncomfortable with this.
Uh-huh.
Not
Same,
used to
dude.
this proximity. Slightly irritated. All right. But you guys start trudging your way west. Let me find the map. There we are. The mud is thick and difficult to traverse. Your boots are sucking into the mud as you travel. But you do start heading into the way of the winery. The fog is very thick in the surrounding trees. And it takes you the better part of the morning to actually get to the winery. And it is exhausting. It is, your legs are tired. And eventually you do come across the vision of the winery. And as you approach, you start to see it in the distance. The rain really heavily coming down. But the fields seem to be more quiet than you remember them. You don't see as much movement.
Foundry
Music
sounds
coming
on
through
this page
Foundry.
is really loud.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Better?
Thank you.
Much better.
But yes, rain is still coming down very heavily, but you can see the winery. You can see also that the fog is very thick and grasping through the actual bases of all the vineyard and heavily collected in the trees surrounding the winery.
Is there a field that's starting to grow a little bit? No, it hasn't been all that much time. But
You can see. Roll me an investigation check real quick.
natural 1.
Oh no.
You are soaking wet. Your fur is matted to your body. You're covered in mud up to almost your knees. And this is sanctuary. Fields don't matter right now.
I'll go stand next to Sten to try to get the little 5-foot cube above me over him as well.
All right. Andar comes.
Slip and face plant in the mud before that happens.
Andar comes over. As he comes over, there's a brief moment where water actually comes more down on top of you with the water that he's diverting. Like, ends up hitting you with the rest of the rain, and you slip and spray mud.
I think it's time we go inside.
I love what you've done with your hair.
I can't see it. All I see is mud.
All right. We'll put you guys here. Let me place you guys. You guys are actually coming down the main road this time rather than last time where you guys had to kind of sneak around the edge.
Yeah, we've only been here once, right? When we picked up Malbase. Yeah. Wow. 10,000 years ago.
All right. Why is everyone's vision weird? Hold on. Please hold.
For some reason, my token has black and white vision.
Mine did too, till about a second ago. It was like Wizard of Oz, man.
It's something about every time that we import something about dark vision in something about dark vision in D&D Beyond makes it so that when you import, your primary vision is dark vision, and dark vision is considered to be black and white. So every time we import, it resets, and it also sets your vision distance to 5 feet, which I don't know why that is. But anyway, there you go. Now you guys can all see.
I think you
Yay.
only see shapes after that for dark vision. I think that's why.
Gotcha. You guys are coming down the main road.
Anything seem off or ominous?
No, it's quiet.
No lights or anything in any windows?
You can see some lights inside.
Sten's just sliding around all over the place. He's having a real hard time with that mud.
If I could only see through this mud.
You guys can see what, just as you remember, there's this overhang here where they have a wagon stored, and then there's what appears to be a barn over on the right.
Hmm.
Actually,
Thanks
hold
for
on.
the ride, Andar.
Well, anytime.
I'm gonna take that pretty literally.
Sten, luckily, as you're trudging, the rain washes off most of the mud on your face and body, but your knees down are still just coated, as is Alistair and Irina.
I'll just look at this guy, arms outstretched. Let the rain come down.
And we all
For God's sake,
get
get under this overhang.
You're right, I shouldn't have a singing career. Poetry it is.
As he walks up, I'll clean Sten, me, and Irina.
All right. Prestidigitation, everyone's try.
You know, I don't know the etiquette here. Do we knock or do we walk in?
Well,
I think it's typically accepted to knock.
yoo-hoo.
Well, for homes, yes, but this is also a store.
I think it's also a home, though.
Irina goes and knocks on this door. Waits a few moments.
Is this door still a giant metal door?
It shouldn't be because...
It's the one down here.
Correct. There's an
Okay.
extra door here. Which I have to actually create real quick, I think. Draw doors. There's one here. It's a giant metal door. There we go. Fixed it. Oh, good. And it blocks vision properly. That's all good. But yes, Irina knocks and waits a moment, and there's no answer.
Are they
What do we
working?
come here for again? Just for wine?
Yeah, party first, and then semi-serious conversation.
After, hold on. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I didn't mean to activate it. Whoopsies. Hold on, just give me a
It's all
sec.
dark, so.
We'll do this. Cool. After a few moments, the door opens and you see Davian Martikov. Oh, hello. What are you doing here? He kind of like peeks out the door. There's no trouble or anything, is there?
No, but it's raining pretty hard. Do you mind if we come in?
Of course. Come in. And he kind of backs off. Apologies. We weren't expecting guests. If you could shut the door, and Irina will come in and shut it behind her.
How's the wine going?
Well, it's unfortunately we haven't had a great deal of growth yet. It's budding again, which is good, but it'll take time before we're back up and running properly. I imagine a couple months before we're able to truly get any barrels worth.
Did we throw in some like potions in the vats here?
Something like that.
Yes, you created an antitoxin that we poured into the poisoned vat. So the
This
poisoned
one.
vat was good.
Yes,
And if I remember correctly, you got a point of inspiration for that.
correct. Which, you can gather that what he's referring to is like new barrels. They had what stores they had before that they were kind of in the process of barreling, but they had no production coming in, similar to like COVID with the movies. They had what was already made, but they couldn't really make a whole lot more, and so now there's kind of a gap in their production that they're working through. They didn't have fresh grapes.
I've got a lot more energy this time. The vats need fixing.
No. All the vats are in good order now. I thank you very much, by the way, for your purification of the one. We've
I
managed.
think a friend of Doonby. He was more helpful than I was here.
Well, is he all right? I don't see him with you.
We don't know. We're hoping so.
I see. Well, I don't mean to pester you with questions at the door. Here, follow me. I'm so sorry. I'm being a terrible host. Everyone's upstairs with production as slow as it is. We've been spending more time together as a family, waiting for the grapes to grow. There's not a lot of production to be done, so we're trying to spend what time we can. And then I will pop us back to... Boop. I'll pop us back to roleplay for a bit, and then throw you guys up. Well, actually, I should have let you guys all teleport up there, but that's fine. Here, I'll do that. That'll make it easier for everyone. Arena will boop. And boop.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you two head up the stairs, it'll port your... Oh, I didn't activate this scene.
Yeah.
There you go. You two head upstairs, it'll teleport you into that map.
Wow, that was magic.
Cool. Alright.
Did I move Doctor Who? I did. Sorry.
That's...
Weird.
There's a weird issue with Doctor Who where Doctor Who is like, anytime I put Andar in a scene, it puts an old version of Doctor Who in a scene.
Mm-hmm.
And that Doctor Who isn't attached to anything, so he doesn't have proper permissions. Anyway. So, he leads you upstairs and kind of takes you around to
Is
above
Adrian
the vet.
Erwin's brother?
Adrian is, yes, Erwin's, I believe, younger brother. Adrian is his eldest. So Adrian is slightly older than Erwin.
Okay. They have the same nose.
They do. They look a lot alike, except for the fact that Erwin has a more square jaw and is a little bit more burly, whereas Adrian has a more slim frame. And also, Erwin, in your experience, has more gray hair and seems to be aging at a slightly more rapid pace. Or at least showing his age. Whether that be from stress or what have you. But he shows you in. Yes. Well, I'm very sorry to hear about your friend.
Oh, I'm sure he's fine.
It's,
He's become much faster as of late.
Alistair just walks up and opens the door.
That wasn't me.
It was me, but you said he shows us in, so I just thought I was supposed to
Oh,
be
okay.
somewhere.
Well, then Mim
Didn't
goes
happen. No
through and
idea
just opens the
happened.
door, and from inside you see Adrian go, oh, and the door opens and you hear David inside. Excuse me, are you just gonna open that door?
No, sorry. Thank you. Sorry, bye.
Then after a brief moment, the door reopens and Davian's standing inside. Oh, we have guests.
Sorry, I thought that was the bathroom.
Well, hello. You, well, I can't say we were expecting you. How can we help you?
Well, good afternoon. We were hoping for a drink. Maybe a
And a
small
ketchup.
chat.
Well, we have some stores still intact. We might be able to assist with your first request, and in terms of your second, might I ask the topic?
I think I'll just gesture to everything.
Just
He slowly nods.
or the yes.
Yeah, the monkey thing.
No, wait. Yes.
Like the little
There's another
lemur
one.
or whatever.
Well, in that case, I'll get some glasses. Then he just squeezes past all of you and starts heading down the hallway. Right. I will let you go with him. I'm sorry. I'm blending Irina and Adrian. Right. I'll let
Adrian, you seem to have lost your tongue. Catch yourself, man.
I'll let you speak with him. I'm going to get back to the children. If you need anything, then just holler. And he heads down this hallway. And boop. Oh. Nope, wrong room. Let's do this one. All right. David makes it down most of the hallway and then turns around. Well, are you coming or not?
Good God, you're fast, old man.
And he works his way downstairs. Boop.
Wow. The magical portals. Oh.
For a brief moment,
Dad.
it's like I went down.
Oh.
I can't move past where I am.
Yeah, because freaking everyone's stacked on top of me. There we go.
Like that bright
Aha.
white flash. You're like, oh, that's it. Final moment.
All right. And he kind of leads you guys down behind the vats and around the barrels. And opens up a door back here.
As we walk
Into-
back here, I'm gonna dismiss the blade for now.
All right.
Oh, we found the hilt
Uh-huh.
in. Oh, fuck yeah.
So as you guys kind of come in, he pulls some dusty glass off the wall and pulls out a rag and slowly polishes it off. And then briefly steps out of the room just into the doorway and opens up one of the barrels and pulls a bottle out and comes back in, sets it on the table, and lays out all the glasses and says, "Is there anyone who will be abstaining, or is it one per person?"
I'll take one. think
I'm,
actually, can I have a half?
I think that that's wise, considering your size, yes.
Yeah, I'm starting to learn my limits.
I think I'm okay, but thank you.
All in for me.
You'll take my other half.
I'll take a glass. Weary days. Then he kind of looks at you, Andar.
Oh, if everyone else is.
So he sets one glass to the side. He pours one half glass, and then he pours four full glasses. You can see that he's pouring from a bottle of the red Dragon Crush. And as he kind of corks the bottle again, I apologize that this isn't the finest that we have available. Our stores of the champagne du Lestamp are dwindling, and so I must be saving them for special occasions or high bidders, unfortunately. So this would have to do. And he passes out a glass to everyone. So, what brings you here to our humble abode?
The weather, the paths, little respite.
Well, I will say the weather does seem dreadful, but we aren't exactly on the way to most things. You clearly had some sort of purpose coming here. Takes a sip.
Well, we're on the way back from something, I suppose. Few things. How are things around here? Quiet?
So far, we were able to restore the gem that you returned, which as I said before, I'm very grateful for your service. And we're starting to see the vines once again bud, but it will be a few weeks before we're able to actually gather any sort of harvest from them. Luckily, this rain will be very good for them, I imagine. Otherwise, things have been quite quiet. Less druids coming by, which has been a relief. And we haven't seen any scarecrows in a number of weeks, at least since the last gem was taken.
About those gems, it's very curious. We've recently learned about your family's history. How it ties with, the Kreskovs.
Mm-hmm.
We were a little curious if you've suspected them for that unaccounted gem.
Well, hold on, I'm checking my dates real quick.
Because we visited them not too long ago, and I don't know what Kresk used to be, but its leadership is certainly in shambles.
Well, we do have ties to the Kreskovs. A few generations back. Well, more than a few at this point, but our families were bound by marriage. We inherited this winery from their ancestors. They, hundreds of years ago now, established this building and this winery and built much of which is still standing here today. But over the years, our family lines diverged, and most of the Kreskovs are now found in the town named after their family, whereas my family has remained here and run the winery in their stead. As for the gems were originally a gift from Strahd to the Kreskov family for their loyalty during the war. It's what has allowed us to grow wine for hundreds of years, but unfortunately, as you know, 2 of the gems were stolen and one's been missing for nearly a decade. Which are you asking about specifically?
We thought you'd mentioned one that went to, I suppose it was the east, right? The swamps.
Yes, the one responsible for the Red Dragon Crush. Unfortunately, that one was stolen a little over a month ago now. It's been a number of weeks.
Oh, that's the recent one.
Well, the most recent you've returned. It was only days gone that...
Mm-hmm.
The most recent gem, the green gem, that you returned.
But would those gems do anything if maybe someone wanted that gift rescinded or
Or
wanted
to use it for something else.
Well, I'm not exactly one for the arcane. I don't have a great understanding of the dealings of magic, but I can say that the gems are very powerful artifacts. The fact that they're able to bring life to entire fields of grapes is not a small feat. If one were to repurpose their energy for something, I do imagine that they would be quite powerful indeed, but I've no idea how such a process would work.
just the things we've seen there. I think we've seen life created or changed enough. Maybe away unnaturally.
Well, when you encountered the gem that you returned, the green gem, what... You mentioned some sort of ritual before? Was it being...
It's on top of Yesterhill. There's a giant effigy being created. In fact, it was moving.
I see.
Attacking, even.
Well... The green...
Sort of, and anything's possible, huh?
The green gem is what I would characterize as the weakest gem of the three. At least in terms of the quality of wine it produces, if that's any sort of measurement. And so, if even it is capable of it... How large was this effigy?
Oh. Probably an easy 15 feet, 20 feet, somewhere there.
Lovely. Well, he takes like a deep sip of his wine.
Lovely.
Yeah, oh, I've heard it said.
I'm gonna need more wine. And he like steps out for a second. But he talks through the door. If the green gem was capable of a feat such as that, I can only imagine what the red and blue gems are capable of.
And which one did you say went to the swamps?
It's the
In
red
terms of-
that was most recently taken. I'm not 100% sure that that's where it went, but we had been being harried by scarecrows and bog creatures, and then one day they were gone, and so was the gem. So
Would that be the most powerful one or the next one up?
I would argue that it would be the middle of the three. It's responsible for the red dragon crush that we grow, what we're drinking right now. Which, those of you who are drinking the wine, it's a pretty rich, earthy wine. It's got a little tinge of bitterness to it, but not biting. It's smooth, but definitely not like top shelf.
Do you know, I said this at
He's
Blue
gonna
Water.
Mutter under his breath, "Are you sure you even want this gem back?" And tap the glass and cast prestidigitation to make it taste way better.
I said this back in Blue Water, but this is my favorite wine.
Well, I'm glad you think so. And roll me an insight check real quick.
Myself?
Yeah, you, yes, then. Roll an insight check real quick.
16.
He seems to be slightly judging you for that.
That's funny. Oh man. I guess I'm pressuring just a little bit in both directions, because we're kind of taking a tour around Barovia, and we think your needs align with the locations we're visiting. We just want to make sure we're spending enough time in an area.
What do you mean by my needs align with the places you're on a tour? Are you sightseeing?
Oh yeah, for the last time, I think.
Are you sure that's wise, considering your escapades so far?
Well, I mean, yes. There's only one way to get where we're going.
If you say so. And he like pours another glass of wine. And do you know how like most people fill their wine like a third of the way? You just watch as it goes a third, a half,
Nice.
a little more than a half.
Your needs being your missing gems, of course.
So you're saying you think that you have an idea of where you might find them?
We have a guess of one of them. Pretty good guess. The other... That's why we're kind of pressuring learning about the Kreskovs, and if there was any desire. Do they visit ever?
I can't say that I've spoken to the Kreskovs other than through order manifests in a number of years. Admittedly, back when I did deliveries, it was more common that I would go and pass conversation with the guards, and occasionally one of the Kreskovs themselves, if should they come to the gate. But they're not exactly ones to travel. They tend to keep to themselves. They're very tight-knit about their community up there.
What about the abbot?
The abbot. Well, I can't recommend visiting him. He's a questionable sort, from what I know. He's been around a great deal longer than he should be.
He had been around.
Had been? Past tense.
The abbot has since fallen, and the abbey is under new management now. Better management.
You wouldn't have something to do with that, would you?
Does it matter all that much?
I would say it matters a great deal, lad. If you know anything of politics here, then context is valuable information, but...
Well, let's say that it was us, just hypothetically. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts would be that, I'm surprised that you've managed to sightsee at all.
Well, we've had a lot of helping hands and some interesting turnovers for most of Barovia. I think we leave a lot of distractions.
Perhaps. He takes another long sip of his wine. So, you come seeking information then? About the Kreskov? Or about something else?
How much wine is left in the bottle?
The whole bottle? Probably about a third. Well, actually, I'm sorry. This is the second bottle. It's probably, he's gotten below, like, if the neck is this long, he's probably down to here. This is the beginning of a second bottle. He went through the majority of the first bottle, splitting it up amongst everyone. And then he kind of topped off that bottle and has just started on a second.
I'll look to everyone and look back to Davian. How much do you know? Do they report to you at Derwin?
He kind of squints for a moment and is kind of side eyes you. I don't know what you're talking about.
He took the feather, Owen.
There's a long pause. And he takes a deep breath. Breathes out over his wine. Takes one hearty sip. I'd say I know a good deal.
So then you know, probably, where our sightseeing tour ends.
I know your objective. I know your method. I know your motivation. What I don't know is this. Let's say you succeed in your current endeavor. You head to the swamp, defeat the witch, reconsecrate the land, and then head either east or south again in hopes of reconsecrating the last phase. Let's say you succeed at that too. At that point, you may have weakened the Lord Strahd. You will also have greatly raised his ire, and his attention will be laser focused. Then what?
Well, he's tried to kill some of us once, and that didn't take very well.
You jest, but I look around, and there's two less of you here than there were when you came before.
Well, not to change the mood, but there's technically only one less. We found one right down those stairs.
True.
Technically, we found the other one here too. Not here, but here.
They're not gone. They're busy doing more important things in the moment.
The question remains. Once the fanes are reconsecrated, what exactly is your plan?
To remove the champion.
Restore hope. With that, I'll also summon the Sunblade onto the table.
He'll look at it. He'll look at you. He'll look back at Sten. Takes another deep breath.
when we first got here, first thing that was asked of us was to find a safe place for Irina. We haven't found one yet. And we know exactly why.
He looks over at Irina. It is an unfortunate fate, hers. And he kind of like nods at her as Irina kind of like squints, being referred to in the third person, and he kind of nods at her. I'm sorry for what you must put up with. I know it is not your choice.
But we get the chance to change how that cycle's been playing out. We have the agency here.
I must warn you, you're not the first to walk on this path, and none so far have managed to succeed. The nature of this place it is possible that, as you say, removing the champion it is possible that might not be enough.
We've thought of that too.
And are you prepared? Should that be the case?
Of course. If it's what has to be done.
He reaches over and he picks up the pommel of the sunblade, and it almost sparks in his hand, although it does not ignite. I always wondered if I'd see this thing intact again. Sets it back down. So what would you have of me? You've clearly traveled here. I can offer what information I can. And I can offer a certain amount of support for your efforts, but as you must understand, I will never risk my family. We've played this game a very long time by being very, very careful. And although I agree with your goals, I will not throw away my family for your endeavors.
I don't know if I speak for everyone here, but a couple asks. Information, advice, and warnings. Information on what you really know about the Fanes. We were spoken to in riddles. And then fed more riddles by one of our friends. What really must be done what is this feeding Strahd? Advice, should we go to Kresk? I'm sure all of us long to go see Malice again, but it's also the far corner of Barovia. Is it a waste of our time? And then warnings. I understand you don't want to risk your family. So how safe is it really to keep watching us, knowing where we're going?
He slowly gets to his feet and he goes and he shuts the door. And he hobbles over and sits on a stool. We'll take this one at a time. You seek to reconsecrate the Fanes. You say that you were spoken to in riddles. I will tell you what I know of them. The Fanes, or the Ladies Three, as they were sometimes called, are ancient entities that once held domain over Barovia and its people. Spirits of nature and time. Old deities worshipped by old druids. The forest and the mountain folk that once held domain over this land before the arrival of Strahd. Their descendants are the ones that still roam the land today, although since Strahd they've factioned into those of the old ways and the new ways, although this I believe you know. The Fanes are not natural beings. They're not divine in nature. They're more almost like Fae. They appear in dreams and visions. They didn't generally interact directly with those around them or the world. Worship usually involved things like communion or offerings, occasionally sacrifices in the more barbaric days. And their power was shattered when Barovia was swept up in the mist as a result of the curse. They were cut off from their realm and cut off from any passages between this and the next. Unfortunately, their influence over this realm was documented by those in the Amber Temple and the wizards and archmages studying there. And during his visits and his research, if you will, Strahd discovered their existence and figured out a way to claim the power as his own. And in doing so, he went and found each location that was the source of their power, blasphemed its desecrated their areas of worship and repurposed their powers for himself. The Huntress, actually, originally brought Strahd to her shrine in order to try and curry his favor as a successful warlord. She respected his strength and his power of will. And unfortunately, Strahd was more clever and outwitted her. They had a great battle at the foot of Yester Hill. And when felled, the Huntress's body bloomed into what is now the Gulthias tree. She cursed to her adherents who had brought him there. And those were the first werewolves. Meanwhile, the Weaver, recognizing that the Huntress had been overpowered, tried to be more diplomatic in her approach. And most of her covens of witches and such tried to stay out of Strahd's way and out of his attention. But Unfortunately, her shrine, her fane, the location that was strongest to her, happened to coincide with a location of great personal loss to Strahd. Real quick, roll me anyone who's paying active attention to him, roll me a perception check.
21.
17.
20. Oh, wait, no. 17. Late.
Sten, you're the only one who catches it because it's fast. But he glances very briefly over at Irina.
I think I would have done the same.
Strahd, being a prideful man, in the process of his grief and his revenge, chose instead to wipe the fane along with the location of the supposed slight. We can get into that more later if you would like. But the Seeker is the only one whose fate is still unknown. She seemingly vanished, and many of her followers that had migrated from Barovia, many of her followers migrated away from Barovia prior to the mist's construction, almost as if she knew it was coming. Some believe she may have survived. Some say maybe she vanished or perished with that of her sisters. But whatever the case, no one has heard or seen sign of her in many, many years. Any remnants of worship that belonged to the Fanes or the ladies were methodically and ritualistically destroyed, desecrated, or burned by Strahd. And any sign of their worship was burned in great pyres years and years and years ago. It's thought that the gemstones that we use to power our wineries have some sort of tie to the ladies. That perhaps they are ancient relics of the power tied to the land itself that came into Strahd's possession through his desecration of the Fanes and claimings of their power, or perhaps created by Strahd. Unfortunately, none of us know but him. It's at this point so far back and known to such a few that all we have are rumors and a record of what has occurred since their gifting to the Kreskov family and subsequently its adoption by mine. Is that what you're asking, or is there more information I can provide?
I think that was pretty direct. I don't know if it's happenstance that we found a gem very close to the Huntress's fame. Or if we suspect that a witch Baba has a gem, she might be near the flooded town.
He stands up and he goes and walks over to a barrel in the corner near the sanded barrel where you pulled the hilt from. And he hunches over and reaches down in behind a corner and he pulls out a dusty old cobweb covered book. Blows off the mist, the dust and the cobwebs and tries to brush it off. I don't know that this matters, but Here. And he hands it over to you, Sten. It appears to be a very thin booklet, almost entirely unadorned. But upon flipping through it, it appears to be a couple of collections of poems, all only a paragraph or so, that seem to reference the ladies. I'll pop that in our chat.
Nice.
I presume.
Shall I read it?
If you'd like to.
Do you guys want me to read it?
Mm-hmm.
Read it to me. Sorry, it's old college humor thing. All right. 3 ladies crouched by open flame. One sat weaving. One sat dreaming. One watched the skies for rain. Where is my lady, high on the hill? Dead on her feet, but tireless still. A dress of hide and a crown of bone. Where she walks alone. My lady's true, but far from kind. Keep your word and keep your mind. Whispered words in silken thread will bind the swift and raise the dead. My lady watches for the weather. She knows the road and where it winds. She knows the stars and those they tether. All beginnings and all ends. Do not tell me what is written in the clouds and changing sky, in the lines of aging faces, and the birds and how they fly. Do not tell me what fate whispers, hidden sorrows set in stone. Do not tell me, middle sister. Let the future stay unknown.
Bravo, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Really good.
I got chills a little bit. I'm not going to lie.
Encore. Yeah, damn.
I'm sure it's helpful. Thank you, Davian.
I presume, if you're seeking the Fanes, that you're familiar with their domains, what they're responsible for.
Yes, we have first hand on one of them. Unless that hasn't reached you yet.
Actually, roll me an insight check.
Natural 1.
No. No.
Can that be anybody paying attention?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
It hit my pile of dice and just stopped on the 1.
Ooh, natural 20. Let's
go.
There you go. Good
All right.
job.
Balance.
Both Mim and Sten, he seems slightly taken aback for a second, and it seems to you guys like this is shocking news to him. Alistair, you catch him seeming surprised, and then you catch this slight relaxation of his face. It seems like by habit he was pretending to be shocked by the news as if he didn't know, and then remembered that you've already established that that you guys know he's informed of these things. But he's so used to playing off that he's not in the loop that purely by force of habit he seemed taken aback for a moment and then caught himself and relaxed a little bit. But as far as Sten and Mim concerned, he seems surprised.
Yeah, as you know, that's where we actually just come from.
He kind of looks you up and down. In more ways than one.
I'll look back to Sten after that.
Your advice?
In terms of, because I'll admit, my
Go into
advice.
Kresk.
Oh. Bluntly, I imagine a waste of your time. If the gems and the fanes are what you seek, you have nothing that I know of to find at Kresk. I know that one gem resides in the swamps with the witch of which you speak. And recovering it will not be easy. She has...
She doesn't speak in riddles too, does she?
If by babbling you mean riddles, she's not what one would call sane, and has not been for many years. She seeks that which she can never have from Strahd. She believes herself to be his mother.
I think we got the gist of that when we first learned about her. Yes, I don't think any of us are looking forward to that.
Should you venture into the swamp, be warned. She travels in a hut that moves throughout the swamp. Well, I should rephrase. Her hut travels throughout the swamp, and she travels to and from in the giant skull of a slain dragon from decades ago.
Wow.
What, like it floats?
Floats,
Or
flies.
is it teleports? Teleport.
No, she uses it as a vehicle.
It's a hell of a picture you're painting.
Are you sure it's not a car? And by that I mean a wagon.
It is similar in a wagon in that she uses it to go from place to place, but it has no wheels and it does not travel along the ground. It travels through the air at great speed and carries her aloft with it.
Seems unnecessarily cryptic.
And how is that cryptic? I consider that to be very direct.
You'd think you'd hear a story in a tavern about a witch in a dragon skull flying.
Well, not many who witness her survive. The swamps are deadly on their own, let alone with her presence within it.
Are there any good ways to travel to it? Maybe where the house stops? What have we thought?
Unfortunately, by nature, the fact that the house moves means that there is no one location that it might be. It could be anywhere in the swamp at any given time. And sure, you might be able to teleport into the swamp, but any sort of guarantee that you would land where it is or where it could be would be completely nothing but random chance.
Well, that's made things a little difficult.
How big is the swamp?
Well, it used to be about a standard bog. Until Strahd redirected a river and sank a whole town into it. And now it is excessively large. It is miles abreast. If I were you... Go ahead.
Does her house stick up above? We only have our map. I see a lot of dead trees painted. Is it taller than these?
He pauses for a moment. Think of it as a tree house, but the tree moves as if it were a living being. It waddles its way through the swamp and is known for violence of those it encounters.
Just like
Does it leave
fine.
tracks
Well,
that we could, follow?
potentially. As much as you can track something through water and the mud of a bog. If it were to travel through a particularly muddy section, I imagine it would leave large clumps of moved dirt. But should it go into water, then your trail is immediately turned cold. If I were you, I would start at the scene of Strahd's loss, which is that the ruins of the original Berez, where he lost Mayrina. At the mention of Mayrina, Irina kind of tries to her diplomatic training kicks in, but the four of you spending enough time with her eyes widen slightly, and then she catches herself and tries to maintain her composure.
Do we know Mayrina?
Irina mentioned that she had dreams about Mayrina.
Well, it would seem with your loops that naming conventions didn't exactly get more clever.
What?
Mayrina.
Oh, yes.
Eilena? You remember Eilena? She was the knight.
Yep.
Then there was Greg that one time. Well, that's very sound advice, Davian.
Would you mind terribly if we stayed here and waited the rain out?
If you'd like, feel free. Although I will say, and he looks out the window, I'm not sure it's going to stop anytime soon as long as you're here.
So,
Ooh.
but the rain started immediately after Yesterhill, or during, or where? What was the rain?
Once you left, Yesterhill.
Okay, and the Fane that's deals with weather and future is the one that disappeared.
Yes.
That's the shyest, hardest to get. Okay, interesting, and then the middle,
secret.
not the middle one. Yeah, the secret. And then the other one, who's the swamp one.
The Weaver.
The Weaver. She tried to be diplomatic. That was what you said?
Mm-hmm. She managed, basically, from what Davian just said, the Huntress tried to, like,
Right.
well, originally tried to, like, essentially bring
Champion Strahd.
exactly, like, basically respected Strahd's strength and had her followers bring him to her fane in hopes of like an alliance type deal. And Strahd ended up challenging her, and they faced each other down, and Strahd won because Strahd basically set a trap that she wasn't expecting.
Yeah.
And after that, the Weaver just tried to stay out of Strahd's way and succeeded in doing so for a while. But then Davian said that something happened at Perez that pissed Strahd off, and he sunk the Fane along with the city. And then the third Fane vanished. The third lady. Fanes are technically locations, but they're referred to as the Fanes, as entities.
Random question, and I'm sure the answer's no. Is Barbara's heart in her chest?
I'll be honest, that's one I don't rightly know. My family has very intentionally stayed out of her way and has gathered information from a distance as best we can. I know at one point she was a mortal woman, and then she delved deeper and deeper into twisted magics that have twisted her form as well as her psyche, and it was no longer wise to maintain any sort of proximity.
I don't know if I'm just reading too much into it, but I think we got a message from the Weaver. Just curious.
And what message might that be, if you're willing to share?
And I'll look at everyone to see if they're comfortable. Not that we haven't just spilled everything. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll nod to you.
Yeah.
we woke up after a very eventful night to a cobweb that spelled floorboards. A singular floorboard.
He sits and thinks for a moment. I have heard tales that the ladies still hold some sort of influence over this land. It would not surprise me if that held some sort of meaning, although what it could mean, I guess you'll find out at some point.
Guess where we're talking about communication? A giant bird and I connected over the seeker. How nice is that?
I presume you mean the rock.
It's got a name?
Well, it's less of a name and more of a species.
A species of rock.
Yes, but there is
I've been-
a particularly large bird that guards the upper regions of Mount Garcus and protects one of the Fane's holy locations. One of the...
Sounds like the bird. Does it try to eat you?
Well, I know it's known for killing. I imagine it probably eats some of its victims, but I've never personally felt that it seemed...
Just wanted to make sure we're talking about the same bird. I spent a long time in its mouth.
He chuckles to himself a little bit. Something about that doesn't surprise me. But you seem remarkably unharmed for that being the case.
I was very harmed. Yes, I'm glad. So, at least a couple of us have some healing abilities.
Just the sentence, I was very harmed.
Well, I guess the end of my questions is it really smart for you to follow us? I know we like the safety of being watched.
Well, I will tell you this. If you'd like, I can send word. And we will keep our distance. But, if that is the case, should something happen, we will not be there to help you.
Let me try again. We really want your help. But we also recognize the danger. And I'd rather the decision be made by the people taking the risk.
My family knows the risks we undertake. And although we may not be able to provide very direct support, we like to do what we can. And he kind of looks over at the sword on the table. And I will say, although many have attempted, I've never seen anyone get this far. And that says something, if nothing else.
Well, until we get to the end of the road, it just means we're stubborn.
Perhaps. Could also mean you're foolish. And he picks up another glass of wine. Time will tell.
I think time makes a fool of all of us.
I'll take that as an insult. Cheers.
Cheers. I know I did a lot of talking. Anyone else? While we have him deep in his cup.
I
Honestly,
think you were pretty thorough.
I feel like we made good progress here, and I'll pick up the blade and ignite it, and then disignite it as I clip it to my pants. Because he said he's never seen the blade
Yeah.
together in one piece.
You do, as you do so, he does very intently watch it. Then you clip it. He nods to himself a little bit, but doesn't say anything.
Did I tell you we're celebrating life tonight? We're still here.
A shock to us all.
More wine, please.
He pours another glass for you.
I think I'll take a cup this time, too.
If you say so. And he pours another one. As I said, you're welcome to stay as long as you'd like, but if you're looking for the weather to change, and he looks back outside, you might be waiting a while.
Well, in the meantime, cheers to our health and bringing hope back to Barovia. I'll raise my glass.
Cheers to dreams. Should they come true.
Here's to the reality born of dreams.
I just drink wine.
Cheers to you guys. I'm gonna do Druidcraft for my tiny harmless sensory effect that predicts the weather for the next 24 hours.
Okay.
It's rain.
Does it really say that it can predict the weather?
Yeah, so the effect might manifest as a golden orb for clear skies, a cloud for rain, falling snowflakes for snow, and so on. This effect persists for 1 round.
All right. So you pull up, you hold out your hand and you whisper a word, a word of power from your mouth, and energy coalesces in your palm and immediately turns into a dark, thick, stormy cloud with lightning and literally rains on your hand to the point that your hand is wet.
It's like, well, that's unfortunate. Looks like, yep, it's gonna. There's a 100% chance that it is already raining, and it is going to keep raining.
Mim the weather woman.
It's probably just Strahd crying.
Yep.
Davian slowly pushes himself to his feet. Well, if that would be all, then I'll admit my tired old bones are feeling the rain, and I've got that ache in my shoulders, so it's about time for me.
Gee, one more thing before you go. Do you have anything that might help us stay dry? Like a cover, maybe like a coat that protects from the rain? Or like an umbrella?
I have a roof.
Oh, well, thanks. I guess that's nice for now.
Well, enjoy it. And he starts
Thanks for your
to
help.
hobble out of the room. Good luck, you'll need it. Then shuts the door behind him.
So,
Shall we? Or should we stay here for the night and then go in the morning? I have no idea what time it is.
it's still kind of morning, right?
It's midday. It took you a good half of the day to get here because of how thick the rain was and how muddy it was.
To be honest with you, I don't think Strahd attacks directly here. I think we're safe staying here overnight.
Unless we bring the danger to them, which is unfortunate. But yeah,
Well,
totally.
He hates us, but does at least kind of respect the Martikovs. They do bring him wine after all. It's their entire exchange.
Alistair does have a point. If he were to attack, I imagine he'd leave at least one alive. Although that's not a great deal of comfort, but there's something to be said about the only sources of wine in Barovia.
So, next step is Perez?
I'd say a safe sleep and then Perez. We won't get another one for a while.
How long is it? Yeah, can we look at the map to see?
Of course. Here.
Because we
I'll start
originally
writing-
were gonna go crest.
I'll start
What?
writing a letter to send to Mao. Hopefully they can do that.
Right. So,
What is this town? The question mark? We just haven't Argon Volsholt.
that is the castle that
The
was
Silver Dragon Paladin thing?
the Order of the Silver Dragon once resided in.
Oh.
The
And Strahd
swamp.
killed the dragon there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the dragon that maybe Baba's writing in or
It'd
whatever.
be crazy if there's two dragons here.
Well, yeah. We have to. I'm assuming have to go all the way around to get to the swamp. Unless
That
you can
depends.
cut through these mountains.
So the safe path is following the trail, which would require you to
There's no
go here. What is it? Is it control that we said? Then you
Yeah,
click.
wait.
Yeah, control and click. So it'd be do. So either, well, actually, let me do not that one. So either you could, if you were to follow the trail, you have to go up to this fork, and then you could either head over to the river here and head down the river. You could head down the path this way and go to Argenvostolt and then head south from there. Or you could head back in the direction of Mount Gaucus, which is the journey that you made before, and then skipped this leg of, and work your way around to where you're semi-close to Berez, and then cut east. There's also, if you didn't want to take the river, there is a marked path on your map on the trail just before this bridge that heads down into the swamp if you wanted to go around. Those are your routes, basically.
I mean, guys, we got to take the river. When are we ever going to use Sten's boat?
We need to use the boat. We use the boat.
So you could just go straight as the bird flies and try and cut there, which would only take you a day and a half, but it'll be much more treacherous because, as you know, traveling through the wilderness in Barovia is much more dangerous than traveling on the path. But if you go on the path, it will take you a great deal longer to get there.
Did we learn that Casimir's dead?
You don't know. The last that you saw of Casimir, you sent him off, and then
Didn't someone see?
Someone had a vision, right? Andor?
Yeah.
Andor. And he was like halfway between the realm of the dead and the realm of the living, if I remember. So he's dying wherever he is.
Or dead at the.
I mean, the camp is pretty close to the river.
it is.
If we were curious if
And
Rictavio ruined that place or if Casimir's alive.
And if you
Tavia
can't,
ruin that place, I'm gonna ruin Rictavio.
if you can't see it, so these dotted paths are like more walk paths, whereas the hard lines are roads. And there's a dotted path here, and there's a dotted path here. So,
Well, both kind of also pass through Argenvolt.
well, this one
Right.
goes behind. This one goes by our. This one is the one that heads directly into the swamp from the north. And studying the map at this point, Irina would tell you that that is historically the road that did once lead to Berez. Before Berez's destruction, and then since then the road has become overgrown and abandoned. So that's
Have we
what.
been to Argenvostolt?
No, you have only heard about it.
So what if we went to Argenvostolt, saw what the hell was going on there, and then just cut through?
The like 2
There.
miles to get there.
Yeah. It's still a little bit
Or
of danger, but it's
half a
more
day.
we know about. Yeah. It's more we
Yeah.
know about the map if we do it.
That's
And
true.
also more like technically experienced. I'm afraid that the Baba fight's gonna be spooky, so maybe. Maybe
We got the Eggman fight. It'll be fine.
Okay. I'm so sleepy. All this rain, man. Rain and wine.
Ugh, sounds nice.
Yeah, it does. I opened my fridge when I went there to get a drink, and I was like, oh man, there's wine in here. This sounds great.
Well, what's funny is anytime that we've seen a Zinfandel since the Strahd dinner, I just think of the Strahd
Yep.
dinner because I like was so intentionally like when I was looking at the research when I was planning out the dinner and whatever, I found this whole spread and it very specifically mentions Zinfandel, I was like, that's just such a fun word. And then now whenever I see Zinfandels, I'm like, God, just think of Strahd. All right. You guys have a plan? Let me rephrase. Do you guys agree on a plan?
I think either way we're going north, right? We're not cutting through all of that forest.
I would not want to cut through.
Yeah.
No, especially with how muddy it is.
So either way, north it is.
So you guys will be heading up to here. And then the question is, from this crossroads,
We'll pretty much decide where we're going when we get here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone, that's where you're headed first?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, real quick, while we're here, just for the benefit of your DM for planning purposes, once you get there, what are you guys leaning towards? Are you leaning towards south or east?
Above table, though, I say Argynvost gives us more information about the map.
Yeah, Andar couldn't care less about Casimir.
Oh, right, because Casimir's somewhere there, as far as we know.
You don't
Yeah,
know.
he's going back to the camp.
All
That's
that,
how we know, yeah.
all that returning to the Vistani camp would buy us is literally probably a shop. That's about the only one we know of in all of Barovia.
Correct.
And I don't know that we necessarily need to do that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, shorter path.
Yeah.
All right. So Argynvost told. So heading.
It's like 5 days away.
It is from here. Let's see. Control. Do-doot, do-doot, do-doot. So there's 1 day. Do-doot, 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 do-doot. There's 2 days. And do-doot, 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 do-doot. It's 3 full days of travel.
It's not as bad
Plus
as I thought it'd
3
be.
full days and like a mile. You'd have to travel a little bit into the night on that last day.
Do we know if the...
I'd give it to you in 3. There's some, the hexes are a little weird. We'll say 3. We'll say 3 clean.
Do we know if the Martikovs have an extra wagon? Or do they just have the one for deliveries?
You haven't asked. But you've only ever seen the one.
Gotcha. That might be
That's
something
their extra
worth
one,
asking, just to see if they do have one. Even if it's in bad shape, we could magic it up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Magic it up. How long would the Sten's boat last?
Forever.
So we could,
Yeah,
why don't
that's a
we do
patch.
the boat and then we'll just attach some wheels to the boat and that'll be our wagon. And we can use it in the water and it's a hybrid.
Amphibious boat.
Nick, can you animating performance the boat to fly? Can we fucking
I
magic
can.
carpet this shit?
I can, but it has a strength.
Oh,
That makes sense. I guess we could sink
Its
the
strength
boat.
is 18.
that's
Oh.
a high strength. That's a really high strength.
Let's see. Carrying.
Also, it's up to
Oh.
Ryan how big this rowboat from the patch is.
That's
Because all
why
I
I did
have
it.
is rowboat.
Carrying capacity. Strength score multiplied by 15. So 18 times 15
90? No, 15, 900.
is 2. 18 times
Oh.
15 is 270.
27. Really? 27. So, 2,
So like 2 of you.
3, 2, 3. 2 and Mim,
2 and Mim.
who can already fly.
Yep.
I can
What
fly,
a
just
useless
not long.
patch.
But should we ever need to use it for that, I could potentially use it for that. It would just put me out of one of my better abilities for the day.
It only lasts an hour anyways for me. I could just become a bird.
Fair.
All right. So next session, you guys are hiking to Arganville's Toll.
Yep.
We're on the road.
And for now, you're
On the
heading.
road again.
For now, you're spending the evening at the Wizard of Wines and then resting there.
Yeah.
Out of curiosity, considering that you guys have a number of hours before nightfall, is there anything in particular that any of you want to do for the evening?
Honestly, if nobody jumps at anything, I'll put a good chunk of hours into reading that book I'm
tome.
supposed to be reading. Yeah.
Probably just keep reworking a letter to Mal.
Fair.
Yeah, because I think it's been long enough, and I've died, that the tome is probably reset.
Okay. And then Andar?
Nah.
Just drinking wine until you
Yeah.
pass out?
I wouldn't say pass out.
All right. Well, then we will leave it off there. And honestly, we'll do the evening just so that you guys have some time to talk to either each other or Irina when you guys get back. And then we'll do that long rest then and head off towards the north come next session.
Sounds good.
All right.
The north.
Congrats on opening the box and surviving.
The boy. I think it just happened. I don't remember opening the box.
I'll admit I was a little worried about that fight, and you guys breezed through that fight.
I think we're getting better at, like, as players, melding with each other's abilities.
Correct. I agree.
I think it's going pretty solid.
Well, you guys didn't give it any opportunity to breathe, even with invisibility and stuff. You guys really...
God, that Doctor Who play was cool.
Yeah.
I'm sad none of us were able to hit him, but that was...
Well,
that was slick.
between Doctor Who and the Fairy Fire, both of those were really strong plays.
Yeah.
Because it had regeneration. It was going to keep healing, and it was just going to turn invisible until it got health back up. It was also smart enough to know, like, okay, I have to figure out a way to whittle, get some AoE in.
Does it go after lawful characters?
It did.
Is that... Wow, that's
Oh.
kind of cool.
It,
That's a cool thing for a creature.
So I specifically, because I'm not super familiar with Slaads overall, I've played in one campaign that used them. I specifically looked up, there's the dragons know what, not the dragons, the monsters know what they're doing, which is a great guide for monster behavior stuff, and like battle tactics. And the section on Slaads was here. Know what they're doing, Slaads. There you go. It's my same search from earlier. All right. They don't bother with skirmishing. They're brutes. They use Fireball to cause mayhem, but they use Cloud Kill to try and kill things. Which he never got to use Fireball because he had no opportunity because of all the he needed his actions. But They are canny enough to be able to guess at PC's alignments, and they'll zero in on lawful characters. After defeating one, they'll move on to another lawful character who may not necessarily be the nearest person. If and when all lawful opponents have been defeated, only then will they move on to other PCs, choosing targets largely at random.
Damn. Okay. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Have you heard of the gem variant?
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
The gem variants.
So, this variant, they're born from like a stone kind of thing, and the stone implants a gem in the back of their head. And if you get the gem, you control the slot.
That's sick.
But removing it off of the slot is very difficult. There's only a handful of ways you can do it. If you cast imprisonment, instead of imprisoning the slot, it pops the gem into your hand. But otherwise, you have to incapacitate the slot and then try and remove it from the slot with a check.
Without killing it.
And if you fail the check, it causes repeated psychic damage on the slot every failed check. But if you succeed, then you manage to get the gem.
It's like a 20 or higher than 20 check. Pretty insane.
And every time you fail, it does 22 psychic damage to the slot.
Damn.
Wow.
Slots
It's
are
a cool
fucking crazy.
concept. Yeah, cool concept.
But like, and when I was telling you about like the ways that they reproduce and stuff, let me pull that up. It's, oh shit. Hold on, I hit the wrong button. There we go. So this is the weirdest shit. Slod come in a variety of colors tied to their bizarre reproductive cycle. Red slotty deposit eggs that hatch into slod tadpoles, which grow up into blue or green slotty. Blue slotty infect victims with a bacteriophage that transforms them into red or green slotty. Green slotty are more powerful and intelligent, and they eventually metamorphose into gray slotty, which in turn can metamorphose into death slotty by eating the corpses of other dead slotty.
That's pretty metal.
So
Not
red
gonna lie.
ones create eggs, which make blue or green ones. Blue ones create a bacteria that makes red or green ones, and then green ones evolve. So yeah, they're pretty crazy. And also generally in most places, either there's like one super slotty by itself, or you've got a team of slotty that are causing mayhem.
Jeez.
There was actually, when you guys were in Amber Temple, one of the rooms had I think the Lich mentioned, don't go in there, there's a slotty in there. Like, and then there's an invisible death slot in there. We don't have to talk about that. Moving on.
Yes. Oh, I remember that
So
now.
this was that, not the same one, but this is the same creature that just happens to be from this random encounter thing that I pulled. Oh, by the way, I forgot one quick thing. Andar. No, I'll tell you next time.